This episode brought to you by the Snap. No. Not Thanos' snap. The Wham snap. Jitterbug. You do the jitterbug. You do the jitterbug.
Hey. A little bit of a licensing problem, isn't it?
Whoa. Oh, yeah. Oh. But doing every Marvel Universe movie in a row is not? Fuck off.
Hey, everybody. We're watching Ant-Man and the Wasp, and you're listening to Miscast Commentary, and that was a comedy bit.
Welcome to Miscast Commentary's Movie Marathon.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
With two guys actually crazy enough to get this done.
And I have a bow and arrow.
Now here are your hosts,
Language!
Joe Findlay and Todd Murray.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Miscast Commentary. I'm Joe Findlay.
I'm Todd Tebow, the Sailor Murray.
And we are at the end.
Wow.
Holy crap.
Wow. Hold me.
Yeah. Come here, buddy. Oh, my
We
God.
did it.
It is. We did 19 of the 20 movies, not including, as we've said a billion times, Incredible Hulk. Also, I guess technically, no, we didn't include Captain Marvel in this, but we are releasing like just the audio version of our YouTube
And
event.
our videotaped bootleg version.
Yeah.
I found a store that sells the bootlegs here, and they had Captain Marvel, and I was like, oh yeah, sure, this is a good copy.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
$5.
It's gonna be.
Some fucking guy like watching it in the movie.
It makes me picture the Kramer version, and Seinfeld's like, I sat and come.
Oh man, I used to buy them all the time from this dude at work.
Yeah.
And my God, they were terrible.
You're aware you can find them on your phone, right?
Yeah, I know, but they were like, so I don't know how to do that shit. I can barely find my phone.
That's
let
fair
alone
enough.
find something on my phone.
And the biggest irony is I have an app on my phone to find my phone.
The phone finder.
It's a thing, but I can actually find my phone.
It's a whole other
It's a whole
phone that
thing.
finds my other phone.
I broke for a second. I was going to find my phone. I'm having a stroke doing this many Marvel movies in
I
this short
know,
of
like
time.
holy God.
But-
I think I am a Marvel movie now.
Yeah. But to put it in perspective, I don't have the exact numbers, but we're talking about over 40 hours of content that we've made in 5 weeks.
Fucking right, we did.
And so, like, it is a...
If content counts as two assholes jabbering around on a microphone, then we fucking got it in spades.
It literally does.
Oh,
It's
that's actually the actual. I just said word for word verbatim the actual definition of content.
That's exactly it. I'm actually going to give you a little piece of news that I didn't give you earlier.
Oh, what the hell?
It's
Oh, my
the
God.
dumbest thing. We are the number 82 podcast on Spotify in Ecuador.
Oh, sweet. 82.
Yeah.
That means like one person skipped past it, started, was like, oh, I didn't mean this one, and then went to another one.
Yeah, that's exactly. Well, no, that means somebody. It means
In
people-
Ecuador.
yeah,
Fucking right. Is that
So-
our highest rating?
yeah,
As high as we get.
at the moment.
For fuck's
We've
sake.
the highest we've ever rated. We rated number 2 in America
Yeah.
under the
iPod,
under the movies
TV video or
TV.
whatever.
It was the TV and film.
on Apple.
Yeah, the Apple chart. That was our best
Fucking A,
one.
we did.
So this is our
We'll
first
be
time.
back.
This is our first time making a Spotify chart. So I just got this news today. So that's fun. So give it up to the people of Ecuador.
Go on, Ecuador, yeah.
I don't want to alienate you. Viva, great. I love you guys. I don't know enough about you guys, but if you want to pay us to come down, we'll be there.
Absolutely. I'll totally lie about your country if you pay me to. Absolutely.
I'm on board.
Ecuador, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's
I
a good
dig
time.
that shit.
It is a good time. It's a good day for us. Let us get this bad boy
Let's do
started.
it.
We are less than 2 hours away from finishing this whole
Holy
bad
shit.
boy.
Do you know what? Halfway through this movie, a comet's gonna like hit the building.
Fuck.
We'll be all right.
Yeah. If the fire
We'll just have
alarm
to
goes
pause
off,
it. Yeah.
that'll be our alarm, our luck again. All right, guys, let us do this thing and let us press play.
Now,
I did. I pressed it. It's great. All right, so
oh,
we're
he's
flashing
still
back.
thinking.
Yeah. So this is this is wonderful. So this is when you finally get your Hope Van Dyne, or no, this is Janet Van Dyne is the mom. There she is.
This version's like a Blur mania.
De-aged, sexy.
Whoa, look at the Farrah Fawcett-esque hair
I
on
know,
her.
right? So apparently Evangeline Lilly's wish list was topped by Michelle Pfeiffer for playing this role. And Michael Douglas, as we talked about last time, his wish was for Catherine Zeta-Jones to play the role.
Yeah, no shit.
Evangeline Lilly won, obviously.
This is like all the rage now is digital de-aging.
Well, that's the thing is you have so much ground to cover in Marvel and all this stuff, but you don't want to do the shitty get somebody else to play them anymore if you don't have to. Like,
Oh, here we go.
right off the bat, we started with some
Couple
stuff.
Ant-Mans.
So, and it's kind of cool because you get to see the original Ant-Man and Wasp, which is really kind of fun. And this predates the Avengers, but of course they are two of the original Avengers in the comics and stuff like that. So we have that to concern ourselves with. I feel like they could get small enough to get through there.
To disarm it, they have to get inside it. I tell women that all the time. Like, girl, you got a ticking time bomb going off in there, girl. You got to let me come inside.
Exactly. I'm going to send a bunch of little Ant-Men inside you, and they're going to take care of it.
You know what? At this point in time, I guess I'm not really surprised at the characters that they come out with, but
Yeah.
It was kind of surprising that Ant-Man became a thing.
Absolutely.
Just who do you think is going to be the next one? After Captain Marvel, who's the next introduction?
I really don't know. Like, I try and think. I've said Namor, which you reacted to, but it's
They don't have their underwater movie yet.
they don't have. Well, and I'm thinking because Aquaman got its success, they'll wait a little chunk of time so it doesn't seem like they're just
ripping
like
it off.
ripping it off. But I don't know. I have a feeling you're going to get a couple of reboot style things where you're going to get your new Thor. Like, it's not going to be a recast.
Right.
It's going to be somebody else taking up the mantle of Thor, which I believe to be Valkyrie, because that's the way it is in the things. Same thing with Captain America.
It's going to be Falcon or Bucky.
Yeah, or some combination thereof. I think they're basically going to say it's going to be some like it was in you the whole time type thing. It's going to be
Right.
Captain America is a symbol, not a person. It was like that was Steve Rogers, and Steve Rogers was that symbol. And now we're going to, continue that on through two people. I think that's the way they're going to land on it.
Right.
And they'll both of their colors will change. Like, they're not going to be like the Iron Patriot, like super red, white, and blue. But you'll have like hints. Like dude's arm will have some red, white, and blue in there.
Right, yeah, he'll kind of be like a mixture of. You know what? Actually, I think it's the Eternals. Or something they're called. They're like another team. And hopefully they'll do what they want. Hopefully they'll do what they did for the other characters, because to be honest with you, they sound like shit to me. But whatever.
I also think we also have Fantastic Four and X-Men to contend with in the MCU.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, there's a lot to go on.
That's where phase 12 is going to be. What phase are we in now? Did we just finish 3?
This is the end of phase 3. Endgame is the last movie in phase 3.
We go phase 4. Say no more. I have a feeling they're going to I can picture Fantastic Four. I just, for some reason, can picture Stretchy. I think it's going to be Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
Which is weird because there's a Captain Marvel.
Well, I thought Miss Marvel was Captain Marvel. They just changed the name. I thought there was Captain Marvel.
Yeah, well, no, there's Captain Marvel.
but
Miss
then
Marvel's a stretchy chick.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yes. They don't call, nobody even calls her that name. They haven't called her Miss Marvel even in the,
No.
in the recent movies and stuff like that. You just had Mr. Fantastic and Sue. That was...
And the Storm.
Yeah.
Is this the same daughter from the first one?
I honestly don't know.
I don't either, actually, but it kind of looks like
I think it is, because a couple years have passed and stuff like this. This is kind of a wonderful little thing. This is what boredom will do for you, and he's been under house arrest obviously since the happenings of Civil War. They had made a deal with the government to basically...
He'll just be on house arrest.
Be under house arrest instead of being...
That's such a lame excuse. Why weren't you helping us with Thanos? Sorry, house arrest.
Yeah, you know how it is. Well, and this also takes you back, the events of Infinity War aren't happening right now. So this takes place before that,
It's
but
just-
after the sequence, the end credit sequence is after. Or
Is
during.
after. So this is somewhere in the middle.
This
Like somewhere near the end of this movie, Infinity War starts.
yeah, thereabouts.
But this is what it's good. Okay, I'm glad you said that. So before the movie started,
Yeah.
I was gonna be like, doesn't anybody know about this? Because I was thinking, right, it takes place in Wakanda and here,
Yes.
but no, but this Scotland, New York.
Yeah.
So people know what's been happening.
Yes.
So
But-
it's funny that he didn't see this while it was
Yeah.
happening, but,
But-
he's too busy.
Well, this
dealing
is
with this shit.
But that's what I'm saying is none of that has literally happened. Like literally, the end of this movie, not like the end credit sequence, notwithstanding, the entire movie takes place before the first thing in Infinity War happens.
How long does Infinity War take? Like it just
Like,
seemed like it
over
was
the
like
course-
one day,
Well,
like a couple days. It seemed like that's all.
I would say probably around a week-ish. Like you gotta,
It wasn't a long time.
like we know that those spaceships are traveling pretty fast, but there's got to be something behind there. Like it couldn't have been a couple hours, anyways. I don't think. But yeah, it went over a very very short amount of time. Oh, there you go. The escape ant. But the yeah. Well, this one, like, because this one takes place over the course of I think 2 days. And then
Antoinette.
Yes.
Remember his buddy Anthony that died? Oh.
I
I don't
like-
think he took to death too seriously, to be
well,
honest with you.
they are ants in the end.
Fucking gave his life for him.
I like this little moment too. This is my biggest fear about house arrest and that ankle is like just stepping over the line for 1 second to be like, I'm sorry. But I always assumed that it was proximity based, not like a border. Like they've got a border in this. I always assumed they'd have like a sensor in the middle of your house.
Right.
And if you got too far from said sensor, which
Oh,
would then
shit.
be outside
Oh,
of
it's his
that.
ankle monitor.
Yeah.
Oh, he's out the fence, girl.
That's how you do it. I like this too. Oh man, I love me some Randall Park. He was in he played Kim Jong Un in the
Team
what's it
America?
called? No, not Team America.
He played
no,
Kim
that was-
Jong-un?
in the interview, the Seth Rogen.
Oh, I thought he probably played Kim Jong-un when Trump went to go meet him. He probably didn't even notice.
That would be the best. We're like,
Oh,
we are
yeah.
not putting him in the same
There's
room.
like no friggin' way.
Just get Margaret Cho in a square wig and it'll be fine.
He has no idea, yeah.
But he was also
sees
in-
Asian features, you're
Yeah.
Kim Jong.
Yeah, that's exactly it. He also was in Dinner for Schmucks, 5-Year Engagement, Neighbors. He was in Wet Hot American Summer, the first day of
Neighbors.
camp.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, he's spent a season on Veep. He has started fresh off the boat, and he's got a new show coming up with Ali Wong on Netflix called "Always Be My Maybe," where they're like, I think they were like high school sweethearts or something. Like it was one of those like things where it's
If,
like
if we're both single and 40, let's
Little-
get married.
a little bit of that,
Yeah.
little bit of that.
You'll always be my backup plan. I've been your backup plan for 25 years. We don't have anybody. Just believe in me, my love. And I think by the end of the season, they might. Oh,
He's-
shit.
He's really
Jesus.
this movie, and these movies in general are so good at having it like being comedy with a little bit of action in it. Like it's really really funny and
And
just
this is definitely wasn't Ant-Man after Avengers 2? When was the first Ant-Man?
The first- yes.
in the order of
it
things.
was after Avengers. It was right after.
So they
Avengers 2.
use Ant-Man as the
Yeah.
palate cleanser.
yes.
He's there like, okay.
I like this too. The close-up magic. Paul Rudd actually learned the close-up magic for this movie and
Oh,
stuff.
right.
But they were like, "Are you really good?" He's like, "Well, I mean, I'm as good as somebody who learned how to play the violin in 2 weeks." He's like,
Right.
"I'm doing it, but it doesn't mean I'm great at it."
I like
Bobby
Buddy.
Bobby Cannavale. and
Yeah, I like
Judy
him. He's
Greer back.
good.
They
He
picked,
seems like a cool guy.
yeah. He does like, and he's like one of those guys because like he's a super Broadway dude and stuff like that, and he seems like he'd be very serious. But he seems like he'd be one of those guys if you were walking New York and you saw him, like he'd be really cool with you.
He'd be like, yeah, he's cool with it.
Yeah,
He reminds me of somebody though. He looks like he could have played one of the brothers in Everybody Loves Raymond or some shit.
yeah, totally. He probably was, like, again, he was in Will and Grace, and he was in all sorts of shit like that. So I mean, because he's such a New York dude that like that all like lines up. What would you do if you were in jail for
At my house?
if you were in jail for 2 years at your house? What do you do to keep yourself from going stir crazy?
Just what he's doing.
Yeah.
Dude, I do the same thing. Yeah, he can't even leave the house. Well,
That's
no, he
what
can
I'm
go in his yard.
He can go to his yard. He can get a little fresh air, but it's
Just
not
like what he's doing right now.
But like even
Bowl, play some drums, masturbate.
that was good. Oh my god, it would be so much ridiculous masturbating.
Online close-up Magic University. I'd catch up on all my Netflix shows, all the video games I don't play that I purchase.
I think I would try to learn a language.
Mandarin.
Yeah, that'll come in handy when China
So I
owns
know
us.
when at the Mandarin if they're making fun of me. Oh, he's balling is the fault in our stars.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's a big up. Maybe the guy like I bet you one of the producers or something of this movie made that movie as well.
What do you mean?
The Fault in Our Stars. They're not reading anything. Everything's always connected in here for
Yeah.
summary, right? Oh, you gotta
I
get
think
the
it's just
old
'cause it just
skinny-
came out.
He's skinny ripped.
It reminds me very much of the
That's how I bathe all the time. I'm terrified of
Yeah.
getting my feet wet. It's a thing.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta get those feet wet because they're so dry right now. That's my thing. That's my big thing. I always have to go for walks along the beach once it's summer because my feet get so dry, like along the heels and stuff like that during the winter. So I hit that beach the second I can to try and like.
Is that like a thing?
Well, because it will slowly but surely it will like exfoliate, right? So it'll break off all that skin.
Ooh, he's back in the okay. This is where they're going, buddy. Endgame right here.
Oh, there's gonna be some of that.
Quantum realm.
I'm assuming that that's what your that's what their suits are for in the trailer.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Because they're
too.
wearing like weird spacey
Yeah,
suits.
white ones.
Yeah. And I bet you some people are probably like, "Oh, that's their new uniform. That's so gay."
That's not
It's
the
like
new
X-Men.
friggin'.
It's
Of
like,
course
it's
they
not-
said that. Like,
Well, I haven't seen it. I haven't heard anybody say
no,
that.
but you
I'm
know
just-
that they've been saying, like, kids, that's like, stupid. I
now
said
they
we
gotta-
were speaking about the poster. She should have turned into like a bleh,
That would have
like
been
a
fun.
Bloomhouse.
No, again, I just
Horror.
picture large margin Pee Wee's play.
Marge's been dead for 30 years. Bleh.
Oh man.
You know what we haven't had is we have not had the horror movie Marvel.
Yeah. Well, they did. What was it? Not the what was the Runaways or what was it? There was like based on the X-Men universe that takes place in the it's like the child's prison or whatever it is, but that was out recently.
Was it on Netflix or something?
No, it came out in theaters. It was
And it's
amazing.
a Marvel movie.
Yeah. Oh God, what
What
was
are you
it?
talking about?
No, I'm not lying.
Some horror movie. Get out of
Yeah,
here.
it was a horror movie.
And it was Marvel.
Yes. It's based on the X-Men universe. I gotta find it because
things.
don't give me Wikipedia first. Give me IMDb.
They should have. Is there I'm trying to think of a horror Marvel character. I know DC's got like Constantine and stuff.
Yeah, they're doing Mephisto,
He's watching.
the Incredible Shrinking Man.
Is that what it is?
I believe
I didn't know.
Oh, wait, no.
Sutherland was that looked like Body Snatchers. or
Oh,
something.
you know what? I think you're right. Incredible Shrinking Man. They do show it at some point. I don't want to see.
Oh, we just got
photos.
bit by some.
Show me her filmography. There it is.
If you had 2 years to sit at
Oh.
home, you better be like half ripped, like all Scott Lang here.
New Mutants.
Oh, the New Mutants. That's not out yet.
Oh, I thought it came
You know
out
what you're
like.
talking about half the
Oh.
time. God.
Okay, I thought that came out ages. Like I saw the trailer for it over a year ago.
Oh, so that's like a horror tinged kind of a creeper.
Yeah, it all takes place kind of within this like hospital or whatever they're in, right? And it's all
Oh, there's my
scary.
girl.
Yeah, Evangeline Lilly looking
She
good.
didn't pick Sawyer or Jack, and now look where she is. She's about to be Ant
I
Woman.
was gonna say you lost me.
Lost.
Yeah,
Whoa!
I love. This is actually one of the. I think that they.
See, this is a ride they could do at Disney.
Oh, totally.
You're tiny in the car.
I think that not only is it something they can do, it's something they will do in the near future.
That's a great idea.
It would be like.
Darling.
Well, wouldn't it be great if you got into a vehicle and like it looks like a normal vehicle, and
You
it's
just have all the screens
I would
being
say
in the windows.
I would say Star Tours. Like
Yeah,
it's very much like
yeah.
Star Tours. So you have a bunch of cars lined up together, and it's all covered in screens, and you get in. Star Tours, by the way, too. They've expanded. They've got even more stuff in it, and it's still all randomly generated. So like there's like
Right.
5 or 6 different scenes, and you get 3 of them. Depending on like you get in a car and you just get 3 random ones, so you can experience the ride slightly
neat.
different. And they're adding more for episode 9.
Jesus, man. I
Nice.
wouldn't want to be tiny in this car. You get run over, you're dead.
Yeah, that's about it.
Anything could crush you. Why would you travel around like this?
Mm-hmm.
It seems horribly.
I would use it to get through these like little tight spaces
Yeah,
and
but,
stuff like
like-
that. But yeah, I wouldn't be driving around as a regular thing. I love that cap. I liked they were talking about Peyton Reed, and he was watching Civil War, and they were concerned about Civil War and how it would affect the character and stuff like that. And he was like, no, not me. He's like, I'm watching that, and all I was thinking of, he's like, oh my god, this is gonna piss off Hank Pym so much, and piss off Hope so much. Like they're gonna be all so like betrayed by him. He's like, we've already got our movie, like
Right.
based on that, right? Actually, a little interesting thing about this building. We'll get to that in a minute, but when we get across that, what else did I want to talk
Nice
about?
building.
It's perfect.
Looks like yours.
My building's great. See, look at that. This elevator looks like it works better than mine.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck.
This building's way nicer.
Hey, at least they're working on it now. We went years without them even touching something. I love that.
So what are they all pissed off at him for?
Because he promised
Went and
that
just
he.
did the Civil War shit?
Well, yeah. Well, he promised that he would destroy the Ant-Man suit, and he didn't, and he went out and joined them. But they know that Hank Pym created it, so technically Hank Pym has now
Oh, now he's in
he's
shit too.
now in violation of the Sokovia Accords. So now they were hunting him, which means they had to go into hiding because he was out there. So it's a whole thing.
No, they're pissed.
a
Oh,
lot.
they're always pissed at Hank. Whatever.
They're pissed
You
at
never
Scott.
do it too, man. If fucking Captain America and the gang called you to be the Avengers, like she doesn't seem like she's too
Of course.
pressed. Oh,
Well,
he's
and that's what he said.
pissed.
Yeah. Oh, he's good at being
These
pissed.
big old ants. They look like they're kind of really there.
Wouldn't that be cool? To imagine going through the line and saying, "Oh, we shrunk you down" or whatever, and then you have like animatronic giant ants like moving around the line and stuff. Oh, I think you're really onto something there.
Yeah, man.
I think you're really onto something.
But it could be on a little bit of a rail system as well. So like they could get rid of the thing. Like so
Yeah.
it could either be screens like Star Tours,
Yeah.
or you could actually go through a big environment they make so you're
Yeah.
really tiny.
I think that the first bit should just be an environment that makes you feel like you're already tiny. And then you get in, and then once you're in the car, it's all the screens. So from inside the car, the screens start, so it looks like you're still looking at what you were looking at outside of the car, and then it'll start going. And
It could be like, you know, how they have things to do before the ride.
yeah,
When you wait for the ride, you're tiny in a place.
yeah, that's exactly what I mean. Which is
Yeah.
why you'd have the giant ants. And
So you're
you'd
like
have all that.
walking through and there they are and all that shit.
Yeah, I would picture you go through like groups of people would be like you're in the line, and then you go into one room, and then they do a thing. Oh, you've been shrunk down, and then when you leave that room, you go into the giant world. That's what they did. That's how I sold it to my daughter. When you get your picture taken with Tinkerbell, it's in a room where everything's gigantic. Like there's a playing card that's like 6 feet tall and stuff like that.
Oh,
because
is it?
You've shrunk down to go meet
So you can take
Tinkerbell, right?
Tinkerbell.
So
And then I'm sure they had to work that out for the kids because
Yeah.
they'd all be like, "How is this possible? Why are you as big as me?"
And it was just all that stuff. So I was pointing those things out to Abby, and it was one of the first things she told my mom when we came back. She's like, "We shrunk down, and we were the size of Tinkerbell, and there was a big strawberry over in the corner." Like it was, and she was
Oh, that's so
like,
cool.
She's
eh?
so bought into the magic, and and me just dad tearing the entire time, going, "This is so magical."
Oh, we just laid the funk down on him. Oh,
Yeah, I love all of this stuff. That it's it does mean
Doesn't
something,
it?
you bitch. I don't like when I can see a girl's ears when she has long hair. When they tuck it behind their ear, because it always pulls their ears out a little bit, and
right.
it just looks weird.
I like her big old ears. Suck on those lobes.
Yeah, because what's her face did that too. I think in an Incredible Hulk, Liv Tyler did it or something like that, and it was just like, get your ears behind, get your hair.
Oh,
over
Liv
those
Tyler
ears.
loves tucking it behind the old ears. The friggin' elf.
Yeah.
Elf mama.
Oh yeah. She'll tuck everything behind her ears if you know what
This
I'm talking about.
I don't.
Yeah.
I like the bad guy in this movie because it's very different. Very different.
Yeah.
Very neat. Not even necessarily a bad guy.
Also
just
not
misunderstood at the time.
Also not an Ant-Man enemy. They never fought in the comics. He's actually, well, and I say he because Ghost is a man in the comics that actually becomes a hero, which is still open to be a thing. I love.
Right.
I
That's
love
such a
this.
killer idea, eh?
Yeah. Like I think that they utilized the shrinking and the growing even better in this one than they did in previous ones.
I agree. How much does this one cost? You got that one?
I do. I have it. I'll tell you later.
Yeah, I'll let you. You'll get there.
I'm gonna wait for a lull when I have nothing
Is
to talk
his ankle bracelet still on?
No, she took.
Oh,
she
she
said
did
she
something
took,
to it.
She took it off and put it on the ant.
Oh, that's right.
So this is an interesting thing because my thought was always that they shrunk down the building. In fact, they built the building small and then made it big, which is why the handle is in there. Otherwise, they would have had to build
gigantic
giant handle. So that
They
was
figured that after the first one they built.
yes.
Like, fuck, his handles are
How are we
like
gonna do
ruining
it?
the whole thing
Well,
here.
he was carrying it all awkward, like a case of beer or some shit.
Oh, somebody's watching, partially invisible, too
yeah.
invisible.
Yeah, she's technically phase 4. Get it?
I like that, actually. That's good.
Thanks.
Oh, look at the ant cam.
I'm not proud of myself.
You think people would like him if he was called Cockroach Man? And instead of ants, they were cockroaches?
Not in a million years.
God, you filthy. How many times we got to squish you, you cockroach?
Yeah.
Come on, there's way better lines.
Yeah. You keep surviving. So we got
Oh, Scoggins.
yeah, Walton Goggins
Little
here.
Scog Dog.
He's got a weird career. His early career, he was in The Next Karate Kid, Major League, Back to the Minors, The Crow, Salvation, Shanghai Noon. He has like a nobody part in Born Identity. He plays like one of like the analysts, like with no lines.
You see the back of his head, he's clicking away, clickety click.
Yeah, pretty much. But then he started to get, like, he was in The Shield, Predators, Lincoln, Django Unchained, Machete Kills. It's not Machete, it's Machete. Machete. What else do we got? Sons of Anarchy, he was in for a bit. He was in Justified, Hateful Eight, Vice Principals. He's in a new show that's coming up that I didn't know about until I was doing the research. Another Robert Kirkman, the guy who made Walking Dead. He's
Right.
doing an animated thing called Invincible. And it's about a teenager whose dad is essentially Superman, and J.K. Simmons is that guy. He plays Omni-Man, I think is the name.
Okay.
And it also features the voices of Seth Rogen, Mark Hamill, Sandra Oh, and Zazie Beetz.
Ooh, Zazzy.
So
That's
it's
a
like
sweet name, Zazzy Beats.
yeah, she's the girl from Domino from
Oh, that's Domino.
Deadpool
Right.
2. Yeah, so that sounds like it's going to be a pretty fun one. Like there were like the whole voice cast too. It's like everybody I recognized. It's
I like this guy.
It's an 8-episode. Oh, he's so good. He was, again, just to tie it in with the Marvel and Community, he was in one of the funniest Communities. He played the guy who, after they killed off Chevy Chase's character, he was the lawyer who, like, was dealing with his estate.
Oh, they killed off Chevy? Good
Well,
call.
he did. Yeah. Well, they finally just decided they're
Yeah.
like, if he's not going to be in it, they decided to kill him. And then they did a whole thing where basically he left all of his friends a gift and then a giant vial of his super virile sperm. And then he was going, and then they finally asked, he's sitting there, he's like, I couldn't even believe it. You guys were all answering. And I'm like, oh my God. And like, it was like, he was just talking about how dramatic it was. And then they're like, how did he die? He's like, oh my God, I can't believe I didn't tell you. He died of dehydration for filling all these things with sperm.
Good old Scott. What the hell's that
Yes.
on the table? Is that what he ordered for dinner?
Yeah,
What is that?
they look like some like fancy deviled eggs.
There's something.
I think they're the 3
What
seashells.
a dick move.
He does a really interesting, weird, like Southern voice. Like it's realistic, but also at the same time very fake.
Maybe that's his real accent.
No. But he is so
He
weird
had one
looking.
in all the Quentin movies, didn't he? Was he a good old Southern boy in Django?
Well, because they don't have any. Well, what else are you going to do? You're in the middle of the West, and you're going to
Yeah.
have like he's going to have a California accent.
yeah, why not?
oh, totally, man. That'd be amazing. There is a prevailing theory that these guys actually work for Norman Osborn.
Oh, shit.
Ooh, I really like that. Listening to that in my ear, it blew. I could hear like the stereo
Meow.
blowing past.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot he
Yeah.
gets to see her kicking ass.
Yeah,
She's
exactly.
way better than him.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, because she was ready to be Ant-Man when the first movie came out, and then they didn't give it to her. But then also my thing, because he had this suit ready for
Whoa,
her.
what a hurricanrana.
Yeah, he had the suit ready for her, but then she was trying to be Ant-Man. I'm like, why wouldn't this have been on the table for her?
This turn of the century chandelier's getting fucked.
I never understood chandeliers. They seem like such a waste to me. I don't even like this goddamn light I have hanging up.
Yeah, hanging lights are weird.
It makes such a fucking. I bought it. It's my fault. But the it's making our shooting our YouTube
certainly
shit so
is.
difficult. I found a ceiling fan that I'm gonna buy that's gonna fix that. But
Nice.
oh, so good. I could use a salt shaker that big
Fucking A.
because I like sodium.
McDonald's could use a salt shaker. Whoa. That's from the preview.
They have one. Yeah, that's right from the preview. There's actually a couple scenes too, because there's a scene where the two of them are together and they're talking about who's going to go low, who's going to go high when they're small. And she's like, I'll go high. He goes, no, I'll go high. She's like, I have wings. Why would I go low? But that's not in the movie. It's just in the.
Let's get our own little piece of the
trailer.
action here.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, it's good too. I like it very much because it has that real Big Trouble in Little China thing again, where like the main guy has his own skills, but he's not the skilled person, right? Like
Jack Burton.
but they also didn't want to make because Jack Burton's more the clown hero, whereas they wanted him to they still wanted Ant-Man to be very
To be able to do his
like,
job. Yeah.
They want him to be formidable on his own, but at the same time, like this is the person who will save him. You know, she looks good too.
Yes, she does.
They had a real thing. I was listening to people talk about like Wonder Woman, and they're like, it's the only superhero movie where you're not like worried about looking. You're not like looking at the girl's ass and stuff like that, and worried about her body. I'm like, well, first off, that's not true, or you wouldn't have hired Gal Gadot. Second off, I'm not thinking about I'm really not thinking about like her ass in this or anything like that. I'm just
yes,
like,
you
I'm
are,
like,
come on.
well, you notice it when it's there, but it's like it's not like I'm like, oh god, look at her body. Yeah, I don't even give a shit that she's like kicking everybody's ass. Like that's what they think, right? They're just like oh, all you give a shit about is that she's wearing this like form-fitting thing. I'm like, no, it's like a killer action scene. That's what I'm thinking about first.
Oh, yeah, well, you can reverse it. Then half these movies are naked ripped dudes fighting and stuff. So, like, what? Like,
That's why I watch Thor more than anything.
I know. Like, come on. Like, you got something for everybody here. You can't just be pulling that fucking card.
Yeah.
She phased, like, right through her or something.
Yeah. So Ghost is really interesting. Yeah. It's really interesting because in the comics, the male character of Ghost is only meant to uses the suit to phase. It's not like a scientific problem or something like that.
I don't know who came up with the idea for this one. It was such a strange, yet kind of refreshing take.
Well, I think they built backwards because they knew they needed the quantum realm.
Right.
So they're like, what can we do? And then they're like, well, we need somebody who was somehow affected by it or whatever. And then they went with this, essentially.
She wants something's in the briefcase that she just took too.
Yeah. Well, there was money or whatever in the briefcase. I would have loved for them to make like Sideshow Toys or something to just make that building. Like make it like a little like movable case, like you could open up the roof and stuff.
Oh, you should be able to open it.
Yeah. I think that would be really
put
cool.
little Ant-Man characters in there.
Yeah. Well, that would be a fun like playset or something, but I'm just talking about one that's like luggage. Like carry-on luggage that
but it
looks exactly like
looks clunky as fuck.
I'd be fine with wheels.
It would be funny. I wonder how many people would get like the
As long as it was proper carry-on size, I'd get it.
yeah.
And not $200.
Oh, you know it would be meant. Shit.
I like a friend of ours is actually like in charge of like a security company now.
Fancy pastry.
It's really cool that they brought all these guys back to like this is pretty much the entire cast of the first movie is in this one. I think the only person who's not is the black cop.
No.
It's the only well, and the bad guy, but I think that's pretty much it. Like, I think that's pretty much it. That's like covers it. Is that my desk? I do like, they are so good at digressions in this movie and stuff like that. Like, no problem. Just like
Switching
getting completely
over
out of the, and then go back and forth. It's like, we need to talk about this. Okay. Yeah, you're right. We need to talk about this. Hey, wait, what about this? She looks older in this one.
I was thinking the same thing, actually.
Yeah. It's got to be a bit to do with the haircut, I guess, but you would assume because when she had the shorter hair that she would have looked older.
Yeah, she does look older in this movie. Like Buddy's big quaff there.
Yeah.
He's a greaser. Look at him.
Oh, yeah.
He wishes he was in the 50s right now.
Sick ass pompadour. Get out of here, you greaser.
Baba Yaga.
Baba Yaga is apparently a real thing. I didn't know much about it. I didn't really research much more into it except to confirm it was real.
You didn't agonize over Baba Yaga?
Baba Yaga. No, I wasn't really concerning myself with it super much.
Yeah, you'd think that he would have a... Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So... Phasing. This is the first time, like, you've heard Vision say it. He's like, I'm not, like, in the last one he said, I'm not
I
phasing
couldn't.
and
It
stuff,
stopped me
and-
from phasing. Yeah, when they
Yeah.
put the knife through him.
Yeah.
So could Vision just travel through the quantum realm if he wanted to?
I don't think that phasing is directly connected to the quantum realm.
Right.
Phasing is literally just their molecules separating and coming back together,
okay.
right? So it was just the fact that her phasing was a result of trying to get to the quantum realm. It was like an experiment. So it's like, it's tied like that. And they believe that the quantum realm is the source of that. But what I really like in this movie is that they actually leave it open for her to return as sort of a hero.
Yes.
And there is in the comics, male Ghost is a part of a.
It's not a guy.
I know, is a part of like a group of like anti-heroes that Iron Man starts because he's actually an Iron Man bad guy, and
Ghost.
and then ends up being in. I really like the way they shot this too, like the multiple.
What is she in? What's her name?
Her actual name is Hannah John Kamen. She was actually in what's it called? The Force Awakens as a First Order officer. No lines or anything like that, just present.
She kind of looks like the girl from The Office who was going out with Jim for a while before he dumped her for Pam.
Yeah, no, it wasn't her. I do know who you're talking about. Yeah, but that wasn't her.
Oh, no, I know it's not her, but it looks like her.
Yeah, she was in a couple episodes of Game of Thrones. She was in Tomb Raider. She was in Ready Player One. And she's also in the upcoming Dark Crystal series.
Ooh, I can't wait till that comes out, man.
Oh, I'm really excited about
Fucking
that.
A.
All right.
Here he is.
We got a man who has no problem being in superhero movies. He's been in the DCEU. He's now part of the MCU. And he was Silver Surfer.
That's
Lawrence
right. He
Fishburne.
was Silver Surfer.
So he is all over the place in these movies. That's my thing. Like, I was reading about him. His pay for The Matrix was... what was it? He was $15 million plus 3.75% of the gross. So that man has money for life.
Yeah.
Are you having an issue with those?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, I've never seen somebody struggle with headphones more in my life.
They keep sliding up. If I put both of them on, they squish my glasses and it makes my head feel all weird.
Oh, okay.
So I got one off and they keep sliding.
I'm sorry. You should have just slid your
Just
glasses.
like my
up a little.
Spanx. I buy them used.
Well,
There's
yeah.
a lot of slack.
yeah.
A lot of slack.
And they still smell like their previous owner. Because they get all up in there.
There's scratch and sniffs.
This was actually a great scene too, because this is when you find out that he was the opposite of it.
Yep.
He was the original, not Giant Man. What was the name of? Because there was another guy who would go big instead of like Ant-Man becoming Ant-Man or Giant Man. There was another one and they had a name for it, but that was him.
Giant Man.
No, but they had another name because when I was doing the research, it literally told me another name that wasn't Giant Man, and I totally knew it. Like I was like, oh yeah,
Gigantic Man.
yeah, huge dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
He loves him. Eh? He's
I
like,
know.
fucking like this guy.
yeah, this guy's the man. See, and again, this is 21 feet. I like this scene. This made me laugh a lot when it was in the trailer too. How big? 65 feet. Holy shit. That's very good.
Such a good scene.
It's so, and I
Fucking
mean,
Paul Rudd, that lucky motherfucker, eh?
yeah. Well, and on top of that, he also like wrote this one again too.
Just him?
Well, there were other writers. There was a pair of guys who wrote some movies I'd never heard of before. I think they put in a draft, and then I think the draft was cleaned up by him.
Right.
And then there was another writer, but it wasn't Adam McKay this time. He had no part in it. I think Adam McKay worked on the other one because he was expecting to be hired as director.
Right, exactly.
And then he didn't get it, so I think he just didn't bother working on this one. But yeah, Paul Rudd and another guy worked on it together.
Yeah, they're up in that window looking out right now.
But that's the thing. That's the second. And what's kind of interesting, this actually ties into the DCEU because what's I like these. This is your decision. But like Paul Rudd wrote the scripts for this, or had a hand in writing the scripts. Ryan Reynolds had a hand in the script for Deadpool 2,
Yeah.
and they're now apparently they've put it on Ezra Miller to write a script for the Flash if they want him to be. If they want him
That's
to be.
I would have just been like, fuck off. I
Yeah.
would not like want to fight for like. I mean, it's cool if you got it, but they're like, if you want to be the Flash, then you have to come up with a movie concept. He's gonna go through all this work, and they're gonna be like, no.
Yeah.
Like, what a fucking way. He's a shit Flash, anyways. But I feel bad for him.
But it's like, but also he's got other things going on. He can't be fucking like, he's in like the Fantastic Beasts movies and stuff like that. It's like he can't be like spending all his time on this other stuff. I thought that was the whole point of being an actor.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, the reason that Paul Rudd wanted a little bit of control over this to be in the movies. Ryan Reynolds in Deadpool, he got super involved so the movies would get made originally.
Yes.
So it was just like, because he was trying forever and forever, and he's like, we got to do it, but we gotta skip how this started and that sort of thing. So he got very... I love that twist. You didn't destroy the suit? Through the mail. I feel like the postal, like the USPS, like set a like send them some money to like just say, hey, can you just tell people that the mail is reliable?
So wait, wasn't he wearing an Ant-Man suit?
He was given a prototype Ant-Man suit from.
Is that the one he was just using right there in that scene?
Yeah, the one he was using is Hank pulled out one. He's like, this is a prototype that I was working on. It's
Okay.
like kind of an incomplete one.
So the real one's wherever he mailed it.
Right. Well, he mailed it to Louise and it was at the business. But then he's like, oh, it's not here. It was in that little trophy that his daughter had at the beginning of the movie. And she wanted to take it to school. He's like, no, you can't take it to school. Well, he took it to school. So I like how he grew just a bit. Because that's the problem with this one. It's he's having a problem with the mechanism. So he's growing a bit or he's growing too much.
Ooh.
I love this. Say again, it's like these are just they've turned it into gags and not just like function,
Right.
which was really good in this. It's like I want to reshoot Honey I Shrunk the Kids.
Or you can buy these like suits. I'm sure you can buy the suits.
Oh,
Kids
yeah.
can get them anywhere.
Oh,
You
of
should
course.
see my friggin' nephew, man, wearing the Captain America. It looks just like Captain America,
Oh,
man.
I've got some great like.
Oh,
Well,
I
got the
couldn't believe
Jennies.
it. It was just
Yeah.
like some crappy cheap costume they got from Walmart. It was like, it looks like some like hundreds and hundreds of dollar costume.
They do look good. It's just all about the pattern, right? Like if you get the patterning on from like from a reasonable distance, it looks good. Like it's
Right.
just get a little muscle padding on there, like fucking Shazam.
Holy God.
I had a
yeah.
real
Oh, yeah,
pro-
that's coming out soon. It's supposed to be fun. Said it's a fun
Yeah.
movie.
I still have a real problem though with the fact that like I like dude that they hired and all that, but I'm just not a huge like he's too. They made him too short here. He's shorter than a child.
I know, because that's exactly what I was just thinking. It was like, who is this kid?
I was like, he's about the
he
height of a
doesn't know.
2-year-old.
Like, he doesn't remember. Oh, he's like, oh yeah, he's that tiny kid that goes. You
Yeah.
know, there's always that one tiny kid.
Yeah, exactly.
That's him.
We had one. He squealed like a little animal when he was in the wrestling team. He,
Pig boy.
that was my favorite moment ever.
My favorite moment
Oh god.
in life.
Well, because I like making fun of people when you can't make fun of people, but then they put
Oh,
you in a
the
position where you
daughter.
have to make fun of them. Yeah, his daughter.
Where they put you in a bit, you have to. I understand what you mean.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, this is unbelievable. I have to say
Well, it's
something.
'cause
now,
of the way
what the
he-
fuck is happening
But it's
right
because of the
now?
way he acted. Like, you weren't making fun of him for being different. You were making fun of him for being dumb.
Just for being a fucking weirdo.
I love World's Greatest Grandma. Those things, though, it's amazing how much those things mean to you from a little kid. They give you the dumbest little thing, and it's like, this means more to me than anything in the world.
World's
I won an
Greatest
Oscar, but I'm going to
Grandma.
throw it out of the way for my World's Greatest Grandma. I love this, too. See, this is the stuff I like to see. Like, I love in the Hobbit movies when they're doing all the scale stuff. So, like, he had to, like, they had to build, like, giant stairs, like, green screen stairs for him to, like,
You're right.
run down and stuff.
Hiya, champ.
He stole somebody's sweater, though. That's
I know. What the... Well, he is a thief.
It wasn't it. Yeah, that's true. It wasn't a lost and found, so I get it. But
Still.
yeah, I get it. It's tough.
If it's for the greater good of mankind, I'm sure stealing a sweater's I.
Gotta fix that shit.
Ooh, jeez.
Oh, you fried that.
Holy fuck. Just zapped himself. You ever had a good zap from something?
Oh, like crazy, man. I had. No, this wasn't the worst one I've ever had, but I was really crazy static electricity at work, and I reached out, and I wasn't even like, I would say I was a solid 1.5 inches away from touching the thing, and the shock
You could
occurred,
see it.
and it went right across, and it like hurt so bad. And I just yelled, I just went, fuck! Like, and it was like, and nobody else knows. The ones that are really bad, though, you hear somebody get a shock, and you hear it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, you had to
I
endure that.
remember at the boat, I had to put lights in.
Oh, yeah?
But the end of the lights have these little, like, prongs that stick out, and you stick them up in and then turn them.
Yes.
But as I was putting it, as it touched the light thing,
Yeah.
I was way too close to it, and man, did it ever give me a fucking shock.
yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I thought for a minute I was going to be, like, zapped to death. I was like, fuck. Same thing. I'm
Nice.
sure I yelled the F word.
Yeah. Well, I think yours is worse than what mine was. My real bad one, though, I was doing camera work in it was a Komodo dragon, like, enclosure. It wasn't like it was a breeder, had this giant room that he built that had like dozens of Komodo dragons, not Komodo
Really?
dragons, not bearded dragons.
Oh, yeah. I was like, holy
Sorry.
shit, what a room.
I would have been super brave to just go stand in the middle.
I know. I
of
was like, whoa.
But the second, because now this was hooked up to a mobile truck. So the second they fed power to me, my entire right side started vibrating. You know when like if you were to like stick your finger in a plug socket type thing and that
Yeah.
vibrating electricity. I was getting that. I was going, and I had to throw the camera off of me. And like the cameras are like, $8,000 each, and I had to just chuck it, and it just went into the room, and I had like a little bit of a burn on my arm, like not bad, just like red, and I was just like, what the fuck? And they're like, oh yeah, I didn't really build this room to code. It's not electrically grounded.
Dear God.
And I'm like, what? I'm like, how do you? But I chewed out the guys because the people who scout out the
Holy
location
shit.
are supposed to have all that information.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck? And then I was like, all I have to do is wear shoes. He wouldn't let me wear shoes in there, right? I'm like, if I'm wearing shoes, it's not a problem.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm going to need to wear shoes. And the guy's like, well, what if you step on one of my bearded dragons? I'm like, I'll fucking buy it. Like, I'm not going back in there without shoes on. I'm not going to get electrocuted.
What, is he just have them running all over the room?
They're all over the place. It was like a little sanctuary that he built, right? So, like,
And you got to go barefoot.
yeah. So I just went, well, it's just sock feet, right? So, but I went in and I put on my shoes this time. I'm like, I'm going to plant my feet. I'm not going to walk around blindly. I'm going to stand in one spot. I'm like,
Right.
nothing's getting stabbed.
Fuck that.
But I was just
I would
like,
have fucking smashed him to death with the camera.
this was just for a fucking grade. Like, that wasn't even what I was making. I wasn't even making money off that shit.
That's dedication.
You know who she reminds me most of? Valeria Golino from Hot Shots and Rain Man and all that stuff.
I got you.
Yeah.
She's a mixture of both.
Yeah.
And the girl that I said,
Yes.
she was in Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
She was Buddy's girlfriend, Star-Lord.
Oh, fucking Rashida Jones.
Yes.
Yeah.
She looks like Rashida Jones mixed with the girl you just said.
Yeah. I was like,
Whoa, I'm
did
just
you ever
gonna give
see?
you a blowjob?
That'd be amazing. A
Phase,
phasing
a phase job.
She like rubs her like inside of her face a lot.
Oh,
Oh,
she phases in and out over your jennies.
yeah.
That sounds hot to me, bro.
She puts her hand over it so that it like fits perfectly around.
Whoa.
That would be very frustrating if you couldn't control it though, eh? Imagine you're trying to-
yes,
you're
I
trying
can't
to
control
masturbate
it
and then
either.
it just like goes, and I'm like, come on,
Damn it.
grab it, grab it, grab it.
And then you've got the boner tree, and you're like, damn it to hell. Usually it's the other way.
Yeah.
You lose the boner.
You prop up a fleshlight so you can just hump on it, and then you go through it. You're like, no.
Just hump on it.
I like that all of my versions of why this would suck is all doing to like just masturbation. No. See, a man.
Oh, he knew everything the whole time.
Yeah.
He's evil.
I want more. I want to get more from Hank Pym, and I would love to have a flashback story
Part 3
between Hank Pym and Howard Stark.
I have a feeling that we're gonna have him in. That they're gonna have her in the next Avengers movie,
Yeah.
just as a thing to teach them how to go into the quantum realm or something. Like,
Yeah.
before they go in, she'll be there and be like, "Hey, like,
Well, she's never been to the quantum realm. She has nothing to do with the
oh,
quantum realm.
I keep forgetting. I keep thinking
Yeah.
that she's directly like the phasing is a direct thing with the quantum
It
realm,
is
which
a-
it is not.
No, the phasing is a direct result of them doing an experiment.
Her being in there
on
too
the-
long, wasn't it?
Well,
She was going in and she was in too long. And...
No, she's never been in.
Oh, here we go.
It's-
Here we go.
She's literally never gone in.
They're answering my questions
yeah.
right now. I don't need you for anything.
Interesting though, her father in this, again, it doesn't tie into any like reality of the
Is that a White the Rock?
yeah. White the Rock. It's a skinny Michael Chiklis.
Yes, yeah.
No, but
Yeah, anyways, go.
I was gonna say Elias Starr in the comics is the bad guy Egghead, who is an Ant-Man bad guy.
Was he a smarty pants?
Yeah, I'm guessing.
Egghead.
Yeah, he's one of the '60s bad guys that are fucking terrible, right? But like he's super evil in the comics, so they even show him kind of good in this. But they're in no way related, Ghost and Egghead. It's just
Right.
they've tied more characters together and potentially maybe opened it up so like he survives and is now a bad guy. Who knows?
Oh.
They're not freaking out nearly enough.
This just happened the other day.
Like literally, if you went to pick up a child and your hands went through them, I think
it was a hologram.
The only response I would be is like, no, 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 no.
All the way to therapy.
And I'm just in the corner. It's like, and then S.H.I.E.L.D. shows up and he's just, no, 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 no. Just constantly.
The No Man.
See?
You'd be called No.
You know what's interesting?
Oh, de-aged.
No, not de-aged. That's his son. That's Langston Fishburne.
Fuck off.
Yes. They have...
You know what? You can kind of see the difference, actually, now that you say that. That is really not him.
No, he is played by he is played by Langston Fishburne. I'm sure they altered him a little bit to make it a little bit more.
Wow.
But yeah,
Holy shit.
I was waiting for that because I knew you were gonna say that.
Fucking fell right into your little scheme there, didn't
I
I?
love it so much. I'll show you a picture of what he looks like for real. But like there is a difference. Like see, so you can see that they got.
Oh, yeah, I think they did.
You can see
something.
they changed him up a bit, but it is Langston Fishburne playing that character.
That's hilarious.
So yeah, who has been in? He was in a Romeo. and
Okay, wait,
Juliet
no. Let me stop you there. He was in Community.
Nope,
Oh, wow. Well, what do you fucking know?
he's the one. Not a lot of big things. He was like NCIS and other things I've never heard of.
You'd definitely be living in your dad's shadow, let me tell you. Holy fuck.
Oh, that'd be the worst. I love the, like, right down to, like, this ringtone is just so fucking funny. Because, like, it's such a decision, right? Everything has to be an exact decision. Like, it's like, okay, what is going to be the most annoying and funny ringtone for him? Oh, sorry, I'm itchy.
Me too, I'm dry. I'm dry as hell.
I'm not dry, I just have an itch. I have a single scaby.
I was just trying to video chat me.
Yeah, you got to do this stuff. I like I like how reasonable he is in this. Oh, that is such a kid thing too. I can't. Emergency.
911.
How could I feel like you would still be able to tell. He's like, it looks like you're wearing the Ant-Man suit and are stuck in it.
No, look at the shot they have right there. It's perfect.
It's like just his face.
Oh, no, you can sort of see. Yeah, no, you
see the
can.
collar. I thought that's super funny. But the I like that a lot though. They have this idea of like they literally all want to help each other, and it's only sort of Hank's fault. Like Hank is,
Well, it's both their faults.
Yeah.
Come on, they're both scientists and blah
Yeah.
blah blah. It takes
Well,
two to tango.
and it's because he like discredited he discredited the dad or whatever, and he's like, well, that's what fucked everything over. And it's like, I don't know. I never understand what exactly is going on. Where it's like, oh, you stole this from him and you stole this from him. I'm like, I feel like that's just a scientist thing. Everybody blames everybody for everything.
Yep.
And I think that really comes from the whole Thomas Edison stuff, because Thomas Edison stole from fucking everybody.
It does seem like in all these stories that they're always, the scientists always have a falling out.
Yeah.
I haven't spoken to them in 25 years.
Yeah.
We almost had the,
Yeah.
you know, the monkey DNA turned into lizard DNA, which would heal us.
I found the cure for cancer and you lost it.
Exactly.
But,
Oh, fuck.
that's so good.
Ant bomb.
I wish I had an ant bomb.
Fucking right. I go for an ant bomb.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so different. I put all the headphones on. I'm immersed.
Oh, you're back
Ooh,
in.
Seinhauser headphones, y'all. Woo!
Seinhauser. That sounds like a new Seinfeld character. Oh my god, it's Seinhauser. We're cousins.
No, he would be like the German
Yeah.
multi-unit. You know how like Superman, because it has Bizarro.
Yeah. Did
That
you
would be
ever
his
notice?
Bizarro.
Yeah. Did you ever notice that white men are the superior race? So you have Jewish Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Man, this anti-Semitism is killing me.
Oh, it's making Trump a superstar. Flip
Yes.
that frown upside down.
Hello. It's upside down. That's a smile, not an upside down
Turn
frown.
that swastika upside down. Oh, it's the same.
Yeah.
It's the same.
Turn it just 45 degrees so it looks like an X with pizzazz.
Oh, they're trying to find Mama.
She will be a completely different
I'm
person.
surprised she's not like doesn't exist anymore or something.
Yeah.
She found somewhere in there to live, I guess.
Well-
if we find her.
My guess was that she was going to become some kind of bad guy.
Oh,
Like
then
she
when
was
they
so
went in,
in there, like she was driven mad.
Turned.
Yeah.
She's turned, yeah.
Yeah.
Turned out.
But now the question is, moving forward, beyond what we know about what happens in this movie and the end credits and stuff like that, do you find, like, she has powers and stuff like that, so do we find a use for her in another movie?
Ooh,
is she
maybe.
is she in the next Ant-Man? Like, I would like to see some kind of Ant-Man where you actually have two Ant-Man.
It's
and
going
two
to be
Wasp.
called Ant Family Man.
Ant-Fam.
Ant Fam. See, now that is going to be a little tough. What are they going to do with these characters in the next Ant-Man, if there is one in phase
Well,
whatever?
I think a lot of it's going to be dependent on Endgame, because there's rumor of the daughter becoming Stature, and which is another, like, it's basically giant woman.
Oh, his daughter.
Yeah, his daughter. In
Stature.
the comics, she becomes a member of the Young Avengers after her dad dies. And she becomes Stature. She takes the Ant-Man suit and becomes Stature. So, yeah. I don't know. I would never understand Young Avengers, and like they did the same thing with like the young
all their
Justice League.
kids.
It's like Justice League Kid or whatever it was.
Justice League Junior. Teen Titans.
Super,
called
but
Teen Titans.
no, but there is a Justice League Junior too, because there's one that's on TV.
It's on
now.
Netflix.
Yeah,
Yes, it is
because
too. Yeah.
I've seen it, because I think we aired it on Teletoon or something like that, and then like Superman came and like to help them, but it was like basically like mini versions. It's like Superboy and
Yeah,
like all this.
it's lame.
Yeah, I love that guy. I feel like the Indian guy over there, that should have been Kumail Nanjiani. I think he would have nailed that fucking role.
Who?
The Indian character on the
Him.
left. Yeah. I
It
feel like
looks like he's nailing it. He's doing a pretty good job standing there.
he's great.
Looking like, the boss's hench dude.
Yeah, he's good. No, he's good in this movie. I just think that if you get just the right comedians, sometimes I think it just like even like nails him that much more. See, this is where he's talking about.
Do we
like,
meet these dangerous people? Is it Thanos?
No, I think they just leave it open because it's not like he gets killed in this when he gets arrested or whatever. And then I think this is your opportunity to tie it into whoever. But that's why they believe these guys work for Oscorp. But yeah, I just don't know. I think because they said something like you can see the Oscorp building in this or something like that, and they're like, oh, maybe he works for them. He looks.
This is good.
This guy also looks for like a little boy. I like it because he's that annoyingly happy too. Yeah, right? Yeah, come on. Why do they always have to be like different? Like all your thugs have to be like different like nationalities
Yeah.
and stuff. I've got one Russian. I've got one Indian. I've got.
They search the countries and found the baddest dude from each one
Like that's what I'm saying. I'm like they go on all the different
that haven't
LinkedIns.
already been taken for gangs before.
Yes.
As henchmen to, you know,
you
various bad dudes.
Well, and the worst thing is you definitely don't want to go poaching other people's henchmen. That
Oh,
becomes a
you
real
know what
problem.
happened? Like the same thing taking backup dancers.
Janet Jackson will fucking.
Oh,
get the
yes.
She will unleash her Rhythm Nation army.
As long as I get to wear one of those hats or whatever with the metal plates like jammed into them and the gear.
I would like to see what she's doing now because she's doing a Vegas residency soon. Actually, I'd like to see if she can still move. Janet Jackson.
Oh.
I'd like to see if she can still move like she used to.
She can.
I bet she can.
Get
'cause
that
I mean,
Vegas money.
I was gonna say Michael
You'll
was
be
still
moving.
able to at the end. Tell the propofol took part.
Like he's got morals. He wants to go do something badass, like steal something. He's
Well, I
don't
like
know,
this too
man.
because neither one of them
Oh.
are evil. He just wants to help her, and she just wants to survive. And there's
She's
no
getting
real-
desperate.
Yeah,
She
but
wants to go steal Scott Lang's kid, I think, to force him to go into the quantum realm
Yeah, he'll.
to find the glasses she lost in there.
I've really.
Fuck my contacts.
I'm always trying to look behind her, not to see her ass, but no, like to. I'm always trying to see like
That's
two.
why I am.
I know, but I want to see like 2 or 3 animations behind because you know the way they had to have shot that was like her basically doing the same thing multiple times
Yes.
but slightly different.
Yeah.
I think we should try and shoot that. I could edit that.
Yeah.
I could make that work.
We can phase, bro. I've been phasing for years.
Oh, we're gonna phase together and become one finally.
Yeah. We'll look like one of those dirty things that broke through the gates of Wakanda there with multiple arms.
We already do.
Hell yeah.
I love the
Oh
hair
my
they
God.
gave. I'd be so grossed out using one of those toilet sinks. I don't want to like lean over the toilet and wash. I love that they play on it a lot. They're like, no, you don't understand. You're gonna have to listen to everything he says.
You put a diamond and you got to hear the whole song.
Only played Morrissey. I love that so much. Oh, fucking
You don't like
Morrissey.
Morrissey? Get the fuck out of here.
I love it. She loves the melancholy ballads. Yeah, she has to throw the wig back on. They must like.
Look at my hair, too.
I love the what is it too? Like they have to kind of play this like drunk history, eh? Where that's kind of like a fun little thing where they get to like not act like their character. I love that bounce thing. Oh, my new true partner. So I want to talk money for a minute.
It's so true, right? He's
Oh.
really like laying it down here.
Yeah, it's all. Oh, I like the. I like because it's so much exposition, but they do it in a funny way, so it's not just like people saying things you would never say.
Right,
so
just
you hear them.
ridiculously, yeah.
And then the truth serum just becomes an extra part of it, right? So, anyways, yeah, the movie it cost 162 million.
There
to
you
make.
go.
It opened #1 ahead of Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom and Incredibles 2, so it actually had like, well, those things
Had
had
some
been out.
competition.
Those things had been out for a bit, but at the same time, it's still really impressive, like because they were both very strong. They were #4 and 3 on the list for the year.
Baba Yaga!
That was fantastic. I like because it also scared everybody, right? Like it also scared the bad guys. They're like, "What the fuck is this?" So.
But he's like pissing his pants.
I know. So week 2, it went down 1 spot. It was between Hotel Transylvania 3 and Skyscraper, which both came out that week. Skyscraper only opened in #3, which was kind of surprising to me.
I never saw it yet. It's got to be out.
I think so.
Haven't seen it has to be.
It has to be, yeah.
Fox had like 15 movies out
Well,
since then.
this movie's been out for a while now.
Ah,
so
fuck.
yeah, it's got to
I
have been.
checked Skyscraper out. Fuck, I forgot about it.
It's just Die Hard with a guy with no leg, but it's
Fucking
but
right.
still, what the hell? And then it went down to #4 in week 3 when Equalizer 2 and Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again came out. It's actually really low on the list of overall. It's 5th from the bottom for domestic. It made 216.6 million. Worldwide, it made 623 million. It is 6th from the bottom. From there, but I mean,
What
still,
did it get on IMDb? You got that?
I do. I think. Ant-Man and the Wasp was 7.1. I didn't write it down, but I did memorize it.
Yeah, 7 was all right.
So, yeah, I put it around there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is your first moment. This is actually kind of an interesting thing because this is one of the first like connection between Michelle Pfeiffer and Paul Rudd. But what's really funny is in the movie I Can Never Be Your Woman, they played lovers. And in this one, she's the mother of his girlfriend.
Whoa.
So that's like, I don't know, it somehow feels incestuous. That's just...
That's how I like it to feel.
But originally, because this scene's really funny, like him acting her and stuff like that. Originally, their plan was to get her to come through and act out the scene and then him to mimic. But then in the end, they were just like, Paul Rudd can do this on his own. He doesn't need to copy someone else. He could just make it funny by himself. And he does so well. This is one of his best scenes. He's fucking hilarious in it. Trust him. So yeah, this is their first. This is the quantum entanglement. I love this. It's this moment too. You get the. He makes the face in just a second. There it is. It's so good. This would have been a really, really difficult one. This is like because they have to play
just like in Ghost.
Yeah, because they're playing it. They're playing it serious. They're playing it serious, and he's just being like, well, I mean, he's acting silly, but like they're having to not react to the fact that he's being silly.
How the hell? She's like possessed him.
Yeah,
She's like trapped inside of him or something.
Well, that's what they said. It's called quantum entanglement. Like because the area is so small, the fact that they took up sort of the same space means that they kind of imprinted on each other.
Right. It's kind of neat.
So you can actually see some of the things that they used when they built the building really small. Like when they built it small, you can see they used a volume knob and a paper clip to make their clock there. So now it's a giant paper clip and a giant volume knob. So if you get a wide shot of the back again, you'll see it again. But so when they were building it, he built it was a normal sized thing.
You can see the paper clip go by.
Yeah.
Ah, neato.
So that's what happened. So they built it almost like a Lego set, essentially.
So she just said through Scott, that it was not a memory they put in; it was an antenna.
Yes,
so they could find her.
Yeah, exactly.
30 fucking years they've been in there.
Yeah.
I'm sure Finding Mom is gonna really help what they think of you there, Hank.
Yeah, I think it'll help. But the found her. But I really like too. They give Janet a ton of power in this too. Like she's arguably smarter than Hank. She's like, and then she comes out literally like supernatural powers and stuff like that. So
she's gonna be the one that defeats Thanos.
That'd be amazing.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
That would be insane.
Pulls a Dark Phoenix.
They're all holding him down. No, it's super simple. It's like they're all holding him, fighting him, and then she just kind of like slowly walks out and just puts her hand on his face, and then he just turns to ash. Like she just like, and I'm like, oh. They had a scene. Yeah, that's great. And he does that little like move. I liked. I like the idea they had a plan where when they come back from the quantum realm, that there were going to be like those tardigrade things that have like the giant like the teeth. There's those little like space bear kind of things.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, they had a thing where like some of those were going to come out and then be gigantic. But then they just like Peyton Reed was just that was something that was suggested for the script, and Peyton Reed was like, "We've seen that, like
right,
that's just
like done it, been there."
Yeah, but I like that too. Like he wasn't looking to make showpieces, like set pieces and things like that. He was just looking to make a good movie. He's like, we don't need that. We're going to make this. We're just going to make... This is the kind of movie we're making. We don't need to go overboard.
What else did Peyton Reed make again?
I don't remember. Let me find out. I talked about it last time, so I didn't.
Yeah, Peyton. I know. I'm trying to think of and it's never anything you'd be like, man, this guy would definitely be able to direct one of these.
Mm-hmm. I think he worked on like fucking like Pee-wee's Playhouse and shit like that, if I'm remembering correctly. But I will certainly. He directed Bring It On, The Breakup. Let's Let's go right back down to the bottom. He did Back to the Future. He directed Back to the Future, the animated TV show.
Nice.
The Computer Wore Tennis Shoes.
Oh my God.
The TV movie. That's the remake from '95. Wonderful Disney, The Weird Al Show.
Awesome.
Mr. Show with Bob and David. Upright Citizens Brigade. I'd actually like to see that one too, because that was like when Amy Poehler, like young Amy Poehler and stuff. Gross Point, Down with Love, Yes Man, episodes of New Girl. So yeah, like it's another one of those
Wow.
guys you just
What
every
the
single
fuck,
time, man.
like-
It's just like lots of TV directors. I think though, just like we were talking about with Infinity War and the Russo brothers, I think a lot of it has to do with just the fact that they know these TV directors are economical and they're going to get like these. If you hire a Spielberg to make this movie, it goes from being a $162 million movie to a $250 million movie, because it's like, oh, we're going to do this, and they'll give it to him because he's
Right when you told the 300 and whatever million, 67 it cost to make both.
yeah.
So the whole Infinity War saga
Yeah.
is essentially what it cost to make Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
Less probably once they factor in all that other stuff, because they said it was somewhere in the 300 plus million
Yeah,
for
it was-
Spider-Man 3.
Well, we talked about that.
Yeah.
We talked about that a few episodes ago. It was the highest budget ones were Superman Returns, Spider-Man 3, and Justice League, and they're like the three, and arguably three of the worst ones ever.
Yep, they were
Yeah.
pretty fucking pricey too.
Yeah. So you give Marvel the. I like how like this is the kind of daughter you want. She's like so on your side and stuff.
I like that guy.
Randall Park is a fucking genius. He's so he's so naturally funny, and he's just like, but like that understated, like he's not like, if I were to compare him to other like Canadian like Asian comedians and stuff like that, I think of like a Bobby Lee from Mad TV or something like that.
Right.
He
I like
actually
Bobby Lee.
He was in 3 episodes of Mad TV playing Bobby's cousin.
Oh no
Actually,
shit.
he just showed up, but he's so much more understated, and that was cool. That was a nice reveal. I want
Wait
that.
till they're on the roof area.
I'm telling you, we talked about it last time for the first Ant-Man. I would love the ability, even if I could only do it with my car. The ability, you just drive your car to someplace and then you shrink it down. You don't have to park it. You just put it in your pocket. So then, like, you could go right up to the front door of a place, shrink down, put it in your pocket, go somewhere, and then go right out
rocking.
the front door and just go right out instead of
It
like.
changes weight, I guess, too. Like it's not the same weight.
It would have to, yeah. I don't.
I need that for my penis. Because it's so unbelievably monstrous that it's unbearable sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. I hear you.
I should have the ability to shrink itself.
Yeah, to like so small that it's almost not there. So like your pants don't, like, you don't get any like ball issues with your pants or anything like that. I love they have a really weird. Apparently, that character too is Agent Wu. I think they said he's a character within the Marvel universe. He's actually a part of. He was an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. and then he became an agent of Atlas, which was like a kind of an offshoot of S.H.I.E.L.D. like in
Right.
the comics and stuff like that.
Atlas,
So
I wonder who
yeah.
is in the uh-oh.
I don't know. Oh, not good. They
They
could have
kill
made
that guy?
Yeah, they could have made that super bloody if they wanted to.
She should be, she should have to, she just killed someone.
Yeah, gotta do the time
That's
now.
pretty bad guy-ish, man.
That was well.
I
You had
forgot
to.
she killed, I don't know if she killed him. She might have just knocked him out. We didn't see any death or
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah, could have just given him a heart attack
Yeah.
for all you know.
Just a little
It was
one.
still not great, but man, I hope I don't have a heart attack today. Sorry, what?
I don't have my
Insecurities.
scheduled in.
Insecurities coming out. I was actually my whole family's been sick. They've had a pretty bad like stomach bug over the last week. Everybody's been taking turns, and then my wife told me last night that she was having it, and I was at work, and then right when she told me, my stomach started to like turn, and I'm like, oh no, I'm not sick, don't worry about it. But I was
Oh,
sick.
God. We've been tongue kissing for so long.
Well, and on top of that, you know my proclivity for puking better than almost anybody.
Oh, yeah.
But the
Porridge.
yes,
Looks like gray porridge,
or it looks like KFC gravy. But
which is just gray porridge.
it's there's a mix in there somewhere. But the But yeah, I was sitting there and all I was thinking, I was like, if I get sick, because like they were getting really dizzy when they were sick and stuff like that. I'm like, but I'd still have to drive home from Toronto. So what I did was I was like, I'm going to go so hard on my stomach where if I'm actually sick, I'm going to throw up well before I get to that point. So then I'll know I have to go home. So then I'll only start feeling like that by the time I get home. So I like literally
planned it
I
out.
chugged a pop. I ordered chicken wings. I ate chicken wings at work. I was like going like crazy hard on my stomach. And then it ended up feeling fine. So, but it was a good strategy. It just didn't pay off.
Great strategy. Yeah, wings into you though. That's good.
They were pretty good too. That's a great. I can't say enough good about the relationship. Like the casting of that girl was so good. She's like finding a good kid actor. Ask Star Wars Episode 1 is a difficult job. Right?
Is it ever?
Knowing what happened to him, I feel bad making fun, but I have no choice.
I don't see why this movie cost 160 million so far though. I'm like, holy fuck.
Well, I mean, there's a lot to everything. There's how much you're paying people. There's how much you're paying, like.
How much do you think Buddy got for this?
Rudd?
Yeah.
I don't know, to be honest with you.
He also did some script work. That must bump up a couple.
Yeah. I would say he probably made like between like probably around 15 mil.
Holy fuck! I was gonna say 3 million or something. Holy shit!
No, I at this point.
15 mil.
Well, at this point, there's a lot of
Did you make that for like the Avengers 1? They were only making like $500,000 each of them.
Yeah, but that was back then. This is like
and it's a sequel.
Later. Yeah, and this is a movie. Yeah, this is a sequel, and it made $623 million. Like this would be considered their flop. This is like the Solo. There's a great thing. I'm gonna play you a clip of it when we do our next Star Wars movie. But it was people talking about Solo. It was the number 10 highest grossing movie of the year. And
how is that a bomb?
And it made like damn near $1 billion. And they were like, I
just can't get over that movie, man.
Yeah, but there's a lot of cool insight. I'm gonna pull. We'll play the clip when we do the Star Wars movie because it's a lot of fun. I like that just the idea of having to make boob room in a thing, and I just picture poor Hank Pym like making this costume and going, oh, this will fill out my daughter's breasts nicely.
That's how he only made her the costume because that one time he got drunk and grabbed her boobs.
Yeah.
So now we can say, I was just trying to get the measurements for the suit, baby. You know.
You're so pretty.
You look just like your brother.
Yeah. I'm trying to find.
What the dickens? What the dickens, indeed.
Except...
You are welcome.
Yeah, I need you to. Yeah, I'm trying very hard to find this information, but it's such a pain in the ass. It doesn't matter.
Let's see what the tracker is. Oh, we're gonna follow the old bugs, the old flying ants. Oh, look! I love when they do that. Look!
Yeah. Oh wow.
And they formed a big arrow. Like
Yeah.
out of like old cartoons where all the bees form a big bee.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised. The first Ant-Man, Paul Rudd only made $300,000.
I know. Come on, man.
That's kind of crazy. I have no. Oh, the actor. He said he would have taken a decent chunk of the profits too, because of the fact that he was a producer and a writer and a star. So he probably came in with a lot more than that. That's probably where. That's the nice thing about these things for them is that they have
points.
Yeah, it's all points. And that's like, hey, points will take care of you forever.
You got that right.
Right? Like, think about the Matrix. Think about how much money the Matrix probably still makes every year with licensing.
Well, they're saying like Seinfeld, they still get checks.
Oh yeah,
They don't have to work another day ever.
And that like I said, I've mentioned it before. Lewis Black was in one episode of Big Bang Theory, and when it airs. He gets like a check for like, I think he said it was like $1,000.
Holy fuck.
Because like it's just so, he's like, that will take care of you forever. Like even if you want to go back to living a modest life of whatever, right? Like I'm making like $75,000 a year for being on a show 10 years ago.
Fucking
like fantastic, right? Yeah. Oh my God. Again, before profit sharing, like Zoe Saldana only made $100,000 thing, but again,
Who did?
Zoe Saldana on Guardians of the Galaxy.
100,000.
She got 100,000 salary, but then profit sharing, so she probably made in the millions.
Yeah,
too.
even 100,000. That's funny because they think like, oh, only 100,000. It's like we don't even make that in a year. I don't even make that like 3 years or something.
Yeah. Yeah, but they've done a good job though. Of I like these guys are obviously being taken care of, or they would not have even touched these movies, right? You'd never see them.
Well,
in a
also
part
there's
two.
the coming back for movie after movie after movie, like
Exactly. Well, and that was the thing too. That's why I like our DJ there is such a fucking like brilliant businessman and these things. It's like, he in movies where he was only supposed to be in a small chunk like Homecoming and Civil War, he ended up talking himself up to a bigger role and making like a shit ton of money like off of them, and like he was making like 40 to 50 million dollars a movie as it was. So it's just like, ugh. I wouldn't be surprised if, say, 10 years from now, when like he's that far removed from being in these movies, that he will have made near $1 billion
holy god.
on these movies, because they're going to be doing business forever, and basically every time a new Marvel movie comes out, all these movies will sell more again. And, like people who rediscover them and stuff, which means it's more money just going right back into his pocket. He'll probably make like a couple $1 million a year,
Just based on new ones coming out.
Yeah, based on new ones coming out that he has
I think
nothing
$1
to do with.
billion is a lot, is way too high, but I see what you're saying.
But like, keep in mind, he is making base salary from like Avengers 2 till now, every movie he's been in, about $40 million to $50 million, depending on the movie. Then he's taking points on top of that. So he's probably making like $70 million a movie.
Damn.
Right now, right?
Damn, G.
So, and that's just from being in it at the time. And
Oh,
now
here's
he's
the old
still
one.
making money. No, this is, this is actually the best clue towards the, that looks almost identical to the suits they're wearing in the Avengers.
Yeah, only they're just kind of whiter. It
Yeah.
does actually.
Oh, I gotta see if I can find a picture now.
Yeah, good call, actually.
Yeah. So
Yeah, see, it just got like some shiny shoulder pads and a chest plate on it over a regular.
yeah. Yeah, so they just like built new ones. So there, you can actually sort of see that's a little bit. Yeah, it's a little bit more like streamlined, but it's the same kind of idea, right? I think.
Yeah.
I like too that you can.
Yeah,
also,
it's the same. Looks like the same kind of thing.
yeah, it's definitely for. It's got to be for the same purpose,
Like a
right?
stormtrooper training gear uniform or something.
That'd be amazing. He was like, the only way people are gonna know we're on a team is if we wear a uniform together.
Holy shit.
See, it makes me wonder where the like they don't really explain her power. Like they explain her ability, like this ability, but I was like, what part of that is like makes her ability like able to kick through a wall and stuff like that? I don't even think it was necessary for her to be that powerful.
Why not? Who cares?
Well,
Give her a
yeah, I
kick.
guess so, but like it's just I don't know. I've again, you don't have to explain it hard to me. Just say there's an explanation.
Well,
there's a reason for that.
What's her
Science.
name? Like Michelle Pfeiffer. She's gonna have all types of powers.
Yeah, but they actually do explain that, and I'm like, yeah, I'm on board because you gave me something. Even if it's weak, I literally don't care. Just give me. I love the phasing.
That's cool. Eh?
Well, think about how cool that would be. Like I imagine that's how they would just like they would make Kitty Pryde. Like her mutation is that she can phase or whatever, right? But like what a useful ability that would be. I don't need keys.
I like that he's going in himself.
Yeah.
He's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going myself.
Well,
Like,
this was
fuck it,
actually-
it's too dangerous.
A big problem he had with the movie, the first movie, was that basically all he did was spout off exposition. This is
Right.
happening. This is happening. This happened back in the past, and this is going to happen now, and blah blah blah. And so Peyton Reed promised him that was not going to be the case this time. Like close up Magic University, but the that's great. But the yeah, they promised him that he would get some meat in this one, where he would like get in on the
Give him
action.
a little
too,
piece
right?
of the action here.
Well, it would suck. Imagine being in a movie like this, Grant. That would be like being a Jedi in a Star Wars movie, but not being allowed to be in a lightsaber fight. It's like he's like,
Well, it would like be like being Hawkeye And then when you're in the Avengers, they turn you bad and you don't get nothing.
That's exactly it. Like, and he was pissed about that.
We
Like,
had a
it's-
nice scene in the end. He was shooting arrows around, jumping off the building there.
But at the same time, it's like I could have been involved the whole time.
Yeah.
But I just picture that. Like I picture they're like, you're gonna play this Jedi, and there's gonna be this awesome scene where there's gonna be like all the Jedi are fighting, except you're gonna be back at the Jedi archives guarding it. Oh, cool.
Quickly finding the information.
And it's like it cuts between they use this really well too. It's really weird to choreograph things that are effects like that, eh?
Yeah.
So you're gonna go and then you're gonna shrink and then he's gonna miss and then you're gonna grow and then make him flip and then you're gonna like it's like this is like high. That was a good joke too because they were talking about how the undercarriage washing is a waste of money.
All right.
And which technically it is because it's for cleaning off salt and stuff like that. But which, speaking of which, I have to clean my undercarriage. This is
I'll clean your
no,
undercarriage.
oh no, my actual car undercarriage.
Oh, forget it.
But this is good. This has always been the weirdest. People say this is like the worst road in the world,
Where is it, San
This
Fran?
is in San
Holy
Fran, yeah.
shit.
but it is a real road.
Oh.
And they gave it a name too. I keep wanting to say it's the Devil's Backbone, but the Devil's Backbone is a legit like real giant thing. I like the sound that it makes too when it's tiny. So good. Oh, shrink it out.
Oh, this is just like when they go in Buddy's body there.
Inner Space.
Yes. Exactly.
I was just talking about that movie to somebody else too. That's funny.
The other one that it's based on. What the fuck is it? Fantastic Voyage.
Oh, there you go. Inner Space. That's the only real one. Dennis Quaid, Martin Short. I mean,
Yeah, what a classic movie, man.
there, there's those tardigrades.
Oh man, those big
Those
old
things.
bugs.
I tried to explain these to
They're
Abby.
time grubs.
Yeah. Well, these are real things that actually survive. Like they can survive out in space for days, like without air or whatever. They can just go dormant for 10 years if they can't eat or anything like that. They'll just be like, "Oh, I'll go to sleep till there's something to eat," and they can survive things that like nothing else can.
What is it?
They're called tardigrades.
Neat. It's a
Yeah,
real thing?
They're real things. They've found them in hot springs and like lava and like basically anything that would kill
lava.
anything. They find things that would kill any living thing on this planet. They've found them surviving and thriving.
Really?
Yeah.
That is really neat. I never heard that actually before.
And they call them like they've been called like space bears. They give them all kinds of stupid little names. But yeah, that is legit like what they look like when you look like under those like mega microscope things, right?
Space bears. They got space whales. Why not space bears?
Exactly.
Oh, there's Stanley.
This was, you know what kind of blew my mind? That's a green screen shot.
Yeah, they did a shit ton with him.
Yeah. It just kind of really like threw me off. I don't know.
Who? Yeah, it's funny you mentioned Matrix because she reminds me of those two dudes.
Yeah.
Remember the two guys?
Oh, the ghosts.
in the car scene there, yeah.
Yeah. That was the weird thing because I liked like those characters were pretty cool, but like it was weird because like they just kind of give you this explanation. Oh, when you've heard stories about werewolves and ghosts and stuff, that's like people fucking with the Matrix. Okay, cool, but then you actually find werewolves and ghosts in the Matrix, and I'm like, that's weird. But the ghosts, like I would have done without the werewolf guys because it's not like you use them as werewolves anyways. But the ghost guys were kind of cool.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay,
They were cool.
I was like, I would have just left with them, but they were fun.
Whoa.
We'll have to do, actually, I think we got to do The Matrix this summer because it's the 20th anniversary.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Let's take it off the building.
so much hopping. This must be so brilliant for them. With all these characters in like full suits and masks so they could just throw a stuntman in there. They're like, oh, God, we don't have to CG out a face. This is going to be wonderful.
That probably is quite the plus.
We were talking about Marvel people and stuff like that. I just watched the Arrested Development, the most recent season chunk that came out on Netflix, and Colby Smulders plays a version of Lucille.
No way.
Yeah, it's like you think it's like
in the past.
Yeah, it's like it's like you think it's a flashback at first or whatever. Like Kristen Wiig played the flashback version of her in another season.
Right.
It was
oh,
nice. It was who was it? Kristen Wiig and Seth Rogen in the previous season or whatever. In this one, it's Colby Smulders and Taron Killam.
Oh, nice.
play the ones.
I don't know if I'm gonna watch it or not.
It was fun enough. It's just I would say get through the stuff you want to watch first and then go to
And then
it.
watch it.
Like, don't be like, oh, I'm missing watching this, so I could go to this
So I
type
can
thing.
watch some. Yeah.
But yeah,
You reminded me. I haven't seen the first day. Wet Hot American Summer or first day or whatever it was.
yeah. I don't even know if it's still on there, but it was so good.
I know. I was looking forward to. I don't know if it is. Why the fuck would they do that?
I don't know. It probably is. It's probably just buried in there somewhere
Way the
because
fuck
it was a
down there.
Netflix production. So like it's theirs. It's not like they can lose the license on it, right? But fucking that's you're asleep, sheeple.
Where
Don't
is
you
this?
understand?
This Mason. Oh, did you say it was San
this
Fran?
is
Is
San
this
Francisco.
actually San Fran?
Oh yeah.
Oh, like he's using it like a.
You can just tell by the hills that they're in San Fran, like they weren't fucking around. Man.
That's right.
What? Who's meowing? Goddamn cat.
Oh, Person Quantum Void.
Oh, this is. I love this too. Is this
That's what they
like
call my anus.
again? You get in this weird silence. Like again, when you go to the movies, especially, like it gets so.
Yeah, especially when you know two assholes yakking the whole time.
What? It's
You can
never,
definitely feel the silence.
never not gonna happen.
The sound of silence.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to fuck with you again. Oh yeah.
Oh, here he comes.
It's like
That looks like some Doctor Strange. Like it almost went
yeah,
into
the Dormammu stuff.
yeah, that like kind of. Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah. It's
Where the fuck.
it's so crazy too because like they've shown things with like those like mega super strong microscopes and you see like how things can get. I mean, you don't see this deep in, but like to see what like the world looks like so small, like blown up large, and then to imagine what it would be like even smaller, blown up large and stuff like that is like it does not seem this unreasonable that this is what it would look like.
He's getting his phase on now. You better fucking
Yeah.
find her. Get the fuck out, man.
Hurry up. Gotta pick
Like
that
a
shit up.
joystick on top of the thing there. Look at that.
Yeah.
Is that like for the escape seat? Like
No,
the fucking
that's-
ejector.
No, that's a super Latino shift gear. Where they
It's like sticks way up. Probably is.
no, it legitimately is. That's that's like a big thing when people doing like lowriders and hot rods and stuff. They extend the shift gear, so you have to reach up to get it, which is really inconvenient and not practical at all. Nice. I like this music.
Yeah.
This Veloster, it's one of because like not all the cars that they had in there were Hot Wheels, even though it's like a Hot Wheels container and stuff like that. This is actually a different company who makes like die-cast mini models of like other ones. So they actually did a Hyundai Veloster, which is what that is. But yeah, so
He gets a piece of the action too in this
oh
one.
yeah, well they had to because he was so friggin' likable. But it's like, you know. It's only so much if he's doing only the same thing over and over again.
Right.
You'd be really sick of him really fast. So I like.
Who?
They use her so brilliantly with the action in this. I think that.
Boom.
Yeah, I would like to see them do.
I would much rather have her suit than his.
Oh, of course, because you got guns, you got
Flying.
wings, but he's fun. I don't understand why he didn't. That was always a question I had when you have Ant-Man on the Wasp. I'm like, why didn't you give yourself wings? Like, he built the suit for himself first. It's not like this is the prototype.
Well, because I
and
feel
the other
maybe
one's
it's
the new-
feminine, so he feels like wasps are feminine and the ants are.
Yeah.
Even though you can have, males of both kinds.
Yeah, exactly. But maybe, you know what it probably is? Because ants, only the females have wings.
Oh,
think
there you
it's-
go then.
I think is what it is.
There
Is
you
that-
go.
Is that true?
No, that sounds good. Don't even look it up. Fuck, man. Sounds good to
Okay,
me.
yeah.
Fucking A. See, you gotta have a justification somehow.
We've accepted our truth.
You know, I'm usually, when I watch TV with my buddy,
Yeah.
Bill, I'm the guy who has to like do the justifying of things, right? Like, what the hell? Like, hey, listen, this is the way it goes.
Yeah.
I watched a movie that was so fucking bad, like I couldn't even do it.
What
It was Big Game with Sam Jackson. I forgot it even existed.
Yeah.
And then this young Russian boy like saves him because Air Force One like goes down. Oh, and it was like some of the things they do in the movie. I was just like, I have nothing. I was like, I cannot justify this movie. It was so dumb.
Nice. See, like that's the thing. I'm a huge I love
And
this.
Antonio Banderas.
Yeah, I love
Are they
that
going
little-
towards?
Like all of his ants were dying. Oh, he just lost him. Drip. It's like such little ideas.
Are they going to Alcatraz?
Yeah, and there's Tim Heidecker from
Oh,
Tim
it
and
is
Eric.
him.
Another guy who's been on Community. Oh yeah, I can do it all day, every day. Nah. But yeah, God, he's so like it must be like really. It's so weird to have a guy like him in this. Like he doesn't have like a whole lot of comedy going. He's just like just a couple quick lines. He does.
I
he
was
couple
not a
quick
fan of Tim and
reactions.
Eric.
I was for parts, not the whole thing. Like there were bits where it's just like when it looked like they just hired crazy people to do things.
Right.
I was like, I don't care for that. But then like Steve Brule would come
Yeah,
out.
well,
of it,
Brule
and I
was
like,
cool.
you know.
So it was just too fucking weirdo.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I'm actually really excited.
And not
because-
funny weird like
Yeah. Well,
Bob Odenkirk and
Yeah.
David Cross. It was just like, what the fuck?
It was they had their moments. Is they were always on that edge though. So it's like some things could tilt towards the funny just as easily,
Right.
but it would but some you would see like the same character and you're like, oh, I like this guy, and then the next time it was too fucking weird. Oh, he's like falling. He's going crazy.
Oh, look like a skull over there.
What's everything made of? Like he's so small in an atom he could be inside like a fucking lava atom and not melting because he's so shrunk down. It's like, yeah.
He's so small he doesn't even exist. Ah!
I like that. They're like, you're gonna have a weird go crazy scene. Sweet. It's hard. Like it's really hard to get fun when you're a character like
Whoa.
him. It's really hard to get fun.
I was just gonna ask, like,
You
what
know,
the fuck
it
is
is.
happening? It's like a big black, like,
That was the end of the
black
movie.
nothing. Yeah,
That was their
The
Avengers
end.
Infinity War. The end.
Whoa! Every movie has to end like that now.
He's lost. It's just gonna be each Ant-Man movie is just going to be another another character going into the quantum realm to save. It's like the only dramatic scene. Oh, I'm so freaked out. It does. It's got a
dreams
real,
like this all the time.
yeah. Well, it has like a. It reminds me a bit of in Avengers 2 when like the nightmares were getting put in everybody's heads, right?
Oh yeah.
It's just, but again, this is just him being inside his own head. She's like, you think like you're getting the thoughts of, oh, it's Ghost or whatever, but it's so much cooler. It's such a really, oh, heal me. I really want to see what they do with her moving forward.
I know.
Because it's like, I don't know how much you can utilize her unless you make another movie. I don't.
I got so feeling one of these guys is going to be there when they go into the quantum realm. There she is.
Yeah.
This old lady.
That's my thing.
30 years.
I haven't seen her
Wow.
in a long time. I'm like, how much of that is like old makeup? Because I feel like she still looks a lot younger than that.
She does.
Yeah.
totally does.
Yeah, I haven't seen her in a
A
long
gorgeous
time.
woman, eh?
She is just an out of this world beautiful lady. She's another one of those ones whose careers too is like crazy. Like when you start reading it out loud, she was actually offered the Sharon Stone role in Basic Instinct. She turned it down.
Oh, I would love to see her puss.
Yeah, I think everybody would have. But she was in.
Catwoman's the closest we'll get to seeing her pussy.
Yeah, we were in. She was in what? Grease 2, Scarface, Lady Hawk, Witches of Eastwick, Amazon Women on the Moon, Married to the Mob, Tequila Sunrise. She was the original choice to play Clarice in Silence of the Lambs.
Clarice?
So, but they basically decided not to go with her because they're like, oh, she'll be too expensive. We're gonna go with cheap Jodie Foster.
I would guess not.
What?
She said, I'm not the same woman I was 30 years ago.
I think that would be true if you weren't in the quantum realm.
Yeah, exactly.
I got way into anime. Ever since she's like, is Naruto still a thing?
Oh, fuck.
Uh-oh. Don't ascend. All right. Shouldn't you be like able to ascend a bit? Like, let's just get out of this area and we'll just like go about halfway up. It's like when you're scuba diving or like in your one of those mini submarines, you have to come up a little bit at a time.
Oh, you get the bends.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you get the quantum bends, bro. Holy shit.
I do not want those bends.
Oh, he must be exhausted. This takes a lot out of him when he's this big, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, he said he slept for like 3 days the last time he went big. And he's like twice as big. Like, yeah, so he's
80 to 85 feet tall.
I love watching like T.I. be slapstick. Any rapper being like, whoa, 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 is just very funny to me. Like, I want to see Ice-T doing that. Like, I want to see Ice-T slip on a banana peel.
Slip on a banana peel.
No. Like, I picture...
He was in Lep in the Hood.
Yeah,
that was
I know.
pretty goofy.
But he wasn't. Like he was like the most you guys, you bit my fucking finger. Like that was like it. But like I picture if you gave him a banana peel to slip on and you just said, like if you just literally went and you showed him the banana peel and you showed him the thing and you showed him like a crash mat and you're like, you know what to do. And he went up, he'd step to the banana. He's like, I'll play that shit. And then he'd shoot the banana. Like he's just too cool for school.
Shit.
And then like Ice Cube would just stare at it with his like growl face until it just fucking disintegrated.
With his getting his SVU on.
Yeah. Oh.
Whoa.
I do love a good Spartan
chest kick
yeah.
there, eh? Fucking
It's so good. Oh.
Holy shit.
I was just gonna say, wouldn't that have wiped her out? But she can phase. It doesn't. But it doesn't
Right
phase
into
her.
the toilet.
Oh. You didn't even hear it. It was so good. I said it doesn't even phase her.
Oh my God, get out.
Yeah. Oh, I knew this is how I'd be kicked out of my own home.
Yeah, and show.
That's all right. It looks like the MASH helicopter. Do 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 do. But I would really like to see I would like to see if they do another Ant-Man. I'd like to see something that would actually call for them to get back in the suits too.
Right. That's why I think I'm telling you, it's going to be Ant Family. All four of them are going to have something's going to be going on. All four of them are going to be having to do their thing.
I think that would be
here.
really cool.
Will he be the only one that can get big?
No, I think
Tom
they'll all be able
Hanks?
to. I think the only thing is, like, from a physics standpoint, she wouldn't be able to fly if she got big. So that would be just something to consider. But they could utilize the wings for something else. Like, she could actually create wind with gigantic wings, right?
Ooh, tsunami, like Mothra.
Yeah. Hello. Not even like a funny line, just like staring into nothing. I was waiting for him to say something for so long, and then he went, "Hey," I'm like, "Oh, they're not." Like I felt like they were looking for a joke, and they're like, "Oh, we'll just
Screw it.
We'll say hey, and we'll do something in reshoots if we can think of a good joke." There's a lot of destruction of like the wharf.
That wharf got fucked.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Oh yeah.
This is that would actually be not a bad other little side like 8-episode thing. I wouldn't mind seeing
With
It's
these
just,
guys.
just those three guys. No mention of Ant-Man or anything like that. It's just them trying to get the business going, and he's off. Like they can even mention he's off doing some big thing, like they can connect it to Avengers or something, like to a different movie, and they're just like, yeah, we gotta keep the business rolling while he's gone.
It's just like it's the same scripts as Two Broke Girls.
Oh, absolutely.
Only it's just them.
Yeah, why is the one person always talking?
Yeah,
about...
show your titties more.
I agree. He should.
Whoa, lady, she's losing it.
Yeah.
See, he's got a conscience. He ain't into this shit.
Yeah.
He ain't into this fucking biz.
I feel like that's just him in general. That's just like Lawrence Fishburne. Like I don't even think he knew this was a movie. He's like, you're gonna steal.
Like
He's
a
like,
Bowfinger.
yes.
He's just been doing these things, and they're filming around him.
You just made me think about Bowfinger. I haven't thought about that in a while. I love that movie.
I know, who kicks ass.
That's such a fun movie. Steve Martin knows this. Oh, you're stealing me. Like, how does it like direct to her
I told
exactly?
you she's got something going on with the quantum realm. This is what happened. She was in there too long as well.
She was never in it.
Yes, she was.
Not for 1 second did she ever go in to
She read a manual about it. And then
Because
this shit started
when
happening.
they were building the quantum tunnel, it exploded. That's her only connection.
Oh yeah, I guess whatever.
This is the 4th time I've explained it.
I know. I actually remember the scene where it happened now.
Yeah.
I can't go back on it now. No, fuck.
Now that I've admitted I remember.
Yeah.
This is a real pain in the ass. See, this is the thing. It's like everything needs to be like this is the way you got to fight her. They play really well on the shrinking and growing, so like she doesn't know where they're gonna be, so she can't guess when to.
It's called physical good cop, bad cop.
Yes, except both of them are good cops, but none of them are cops.
Right?
Right?
A little bad.
Oh,
Whoa.
pinch. Why didn't he just catch the thing? Oh,
Because it hits her at the same time.
yeah. Like he should have just like grabbed it and been like, "Hey."
He could have just flicked her, grabbed the thing.
Yeah, yeah. She would have been fun getting sent. He's on top of her though. I think he's got a boner.
Like guaranteeing he has one.
I imagine he's got excitement boners, right?
Do they laugh about that kind of thing? They must.
What, excitement boners?
I'll bet you they don't have excitement boners. It's like terrifying.
No,
They're
I'm
not fucking porn
No,
stars.
I'm talking like the characters in the movie, not the actors on the set.
Oh, yes.
'Cause, yeah, no, I agree.
Absolutely, yes.
I was like, just the excitement of being in this battle has just given him a boner.
It's a battle boner.
I really nailed down that word that time. I really isolated. It's like that thing when you're at a concert and then everything stops and then you just, are we still talking?
Yeah.
So I was like, and then I shit my pants. Like, it was like, what a crazy.
Wow, 30 years and she looks like she's doing all right. Hank
Yeah.
Pym went in there. He's having weird crossover memories and
Yeah.
the fuck did she do?
What if she didn't age at all and she was now kind of like younger, like kind of like a Captain America thing?
Good for Pym.
Oh.
Right on, bro.
Now you're more like Michael Douglas than ever. Although Catherine Zeta-Jones isn't exactly a spring chicken, but
No.
that's all right. It's a nice moment with
did
them
it.
too. It's nice. I guess we already met. Hill.
Oh shit.
See, this is great, but also, it's cool to see that she has these powers, but it also feels like it's kind of a cheap. Like, hey, we're gonna fix this problem in just a second. I'm gonna touch her. Everybody's gonna be, what the hell? And they're like, oh, I'll never tell.
I'll never tell.
All right, we got you covered.
Your period?
Yes, we
You talking about your period?
Yeah.
Just talking about your period, I think.
I had the talk with Abby, and this is, I told her, I'm like, you're going to start phasing. And
Yeah, one of these days.
unless you find a woman who's in the quantum realm. And
I
I
can
was like,
touch you properly.
and I was like, just if you have any questions, don't ask Todd, because he's going to think you were in the quantum realm the whole time.
You've been there the whole time?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
No, for the last time. I'm not even Abby. I'm Joe.
Am I in the quantum realm?
Yes.
Oh god.
Yeah, you're becoming the fucking Dusty Rhodes of the podcast. He's Alcatraz. Wait, is that
There
Alcatraz?
was Alcatraz.
Exactly.
You fucker.
It's still, I'll never not love that. Alcatraz. Wait, does that say Alcatraz? No.
No, and it didn't. I was like, oh my god.
No.
Dusty,
the
what's
name of
wrong
some
here,
random
bud?
company. You know what I saw for the first time today? Jeremy Piven was on an episode of Raw. And he was like,
yeah.
and whatever happens, they're gonna go to Summerfest. And then like Vince McMahon was like, you mean SummerSlam? And he's like, yes, SummerSlam. I was like, not wrestling fans are not the people to fuck up like that around.
Yeah.
That's like going to the middle of Comic-Con and being like, Space Wars. Get out your laser sword in Space Wars. You go eat a dick.
Oh,
This
God.
was great. He's telling everything. I do love this callback, actually. It's the code violations.
I think he always got the.
Yeah. It is true. He reminds me of a guy he was a white guy, though, but he was in Weird Al. He was on the Weird Al show, and he had this really, he had kind of a Patton Oswalt build where he looks kind of, scrunched down a little
Right.
bit. And that's what he reminds me of.
He's been hanging out on one of
Yeah.
the planets for too long, and it's like.
It's like he has dwarfism, but he was supposed to be 7 feet tall originally. So it's so now he's just regular sized, but he's.
Oh, he just bent over.
Yeah.
He climbed up the ass of the suit. He shrunk down.
Yeah. Oh, they got this sorted out.
It doesn't have to be in the suit, though.
No, you can shrink the suit and whatever. He just made the suit big before he got into it. He didn't get into it because had he gotten out of it, he would have been gigantic, I think.
Magic.
Oh, giant bill. That would be a weird thing to see from far away.
Yes.
Imagine you were just looking at the skyline and like CN Tower in Toronto, and then all of a sudden it
Wow.
just disappeared. Then somebody was using it to pick their
I'm
teeth.
sure it happens to people all the time.
Yeah,
Nobody believes them.
yeah.
That's why
Well,
now he's the crazy guy handing out Jesus pamphlets downtown.
I just had the worst idea. I was like, it happened in New York in 2001. That is the worst thing. I do apologize for that because that's not great. It's just sometimes your brain goes somewhere super dark.
And you have to say it out loud or it will consume you.
Yeah, I just don't want to keep secrets from our listeners.
Nice guy.
I don't. I just don't. It was like, my feelings are that if they know I know it's bad, then it's not bad. I'm not doing something wrong. I love San Francisco houses. You know who else loved San Francisco houses? Lori Loughlin, until she cheated the system and got fired from Fuller House.
She was on Fuller House. I guess
Yeah.
they all were.
They all were. But now she is certainly not going to be. Although I think it was done
That's
anyways.
the problem. It's not even that she killed anybody. They paid for her kid to get into friggin' college, and everyone's
Yeah.
acting like she's fucking like caused a genocide. Like,
Yeah. Well, it's one of those. I think
like
they're
it
really
looks
trying.
badly on the show. I guess if you keep a criminal, well, they had to kick
Well,
her out of
she-
joint because she's probably going to jail.
Yeah, she committed a federal crime.
Yeah,
So because she's
probably
because it's not the. It's
You
not.
did it.
It's not the fix that she's arrested for. It's mail fraud.
Yeah.
It's like
That's a big
falsifying
one.
information and
Yep.
stuff, and that is a federal crime. But the but they also said I'm still very confused as to why William H. Macy's not involved because
he's not. I'm sure he would have been there for all the.
he was present. Well, there's an informant who ratted all these people out, and he flat out said that he was present for all of this and helped make the decisions that would move forward.
He's a man.
Yeah.
Come on.
He's a white man. Leave him
fuck?
be. I like this. This is a weird scene. This has to have been ad-libbed between the two of them. He's like, I thought you were inviting me somewhere because he's like, I'll see you around. And he's like, I thought you were just. Do you want to go somewhere? I would have liked that. I would have loved a mid-credit scene to have been
where
the
they're
two of
actually
them.
out there eating
That, like,
shawarma.
Just them having like a grand old time. Just be like, hey, what a
Gonna get happy.
what a weird perfect song to be in this. I feel like this is the theme song to Paul Rudd.
He's also very happy to see her.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Could you
they're getting
imagine-
their breakfast?
what would
things
you do?
now. Oh, they
Okay.
got mad customers.
So we asked the question about what you would do if you were in house arrest. What would you do the first day after house arrest? If you were 2 years and you got your first day out, what are you doing?
I'd probably go out and get fucking loaded at a bar.
You could have been doing that literally the entire. Like I feel
I
like
guess
that's
somebody
like,
could have brought me booze.
Yeah.
I'd probably no. Okay, I would go to a bar, get drunk, then I would probably go to like the movies or something.
You just did that.
I know.
You didn't even.
I know. Well, I missed it though. I haven't been out in 2 years.
I would.
I'd say I'd want to go to Wonderland, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's not that time of year. I don't fucking know.
Maybe it's winter.
I'd probably take a trip somewhere. Maybe I'd be like, fuck
Yeah.
this. I'm gonna go see the
But
ocean.
it depends on the things of your parole. You might not be allowed to leave the country.
Oh god, I've been in this for 2 years.
Yeah. So.
See, look, they went to the drive-in.
This is great, actually. This is another thing I would 100% do if I could like shrink down stuff and like what a great little twist, right? Again, they've got that Hyundai. Hyundai definitely paid some money to be involved. The dust is gross. The moth, but I like this. Just like
Oh,
just using
neat.
the laptop. But my
Down
thing
in
is,
front, fucker.
why did they have all the why did they have all the extra cars? The only thing
Just
I
to
could
make it
picture-
look authentic.
I guess I was like the only thing I could think I would have been nice if they were going through and you saw it was like all the other characters, including that's where you could have utilized Jimmy there,
Jimmy.
or what's his Agent Woo there. If he's sitting there in the back, he's like, or he just comes up to the side and he's like, "This is really great, thank you."
Oh yeah, he's there too. Yeah,
like he's just like
he's
been
in one
invited.
car over.
These are fun little diorama things that they've.
Oh
Bill.
my god, Joe, we did it. We fucking did it.
High five, buddy.
We fucking did
What?
it.
We have.
End of the era.
Wow. We have, after all of this time, you guys are going to get one more episode still. You're getting like the bonus one, like we said, the from YouTube. So you can go watch that whenever you want. But you'll be able to audio hear it too if you're afraid of seeing our fucking god-awful faces. But it would be fun. I picture that this would have been a fun thing to make because like they're like, we want you to make like, or do you suppose they made miniatures or is it just all CG?
I think it's CG.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I
Some
feel like
of
this
them
would
I'll
be
bet
such.
you they are, but like the cars
Yeah.
flying, I don't think are.
Yeah.
You know what? Maybe they were on strings that they just digitally took away.
Yeah.
Because it does look, but fuck you, big giant green guys
Bobby
standing around
Cannavale.
and shit. I don't fucking know. Look at the whole thing of it.
Exactly.
Whole movie was probably CG for fuck's sakes.
Well, it was, but I'll tell you, Michael Douglas died years ago. They really did
Look
a
at her
good.
with a big quantum sword. We're gonna have to go back and see her like fighting in the quantum realm.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Rumbling.
That would be amazing if you just saw her like she's like the pilgrim, right? Like a tardigrade comes and she fights it off.
Oh my god! Imagine the rage bang they're gonna have.
Oh my god! As soon as he can get a fucking erection.
Oh fuck yeah!
All right.
Here we go.
This.
Oh fuck yeah!
I remember, and it's so funny because I was expecting some tie-in, and this is not what I was expecting.
No, me either.
I think I'm trying so hard to not speculate that I'm allowing myself to be more surprised as a result. You know what I mean?
Say what?
I think I'm trying so hard not to speculate about what's going on in these movies
Right.
that I'm allowing myself to be more surprised, because these aren't unpredictable things. They're just things that I'm not thinking of. Because
Yeah,
I'm
well,
trying
plus you
not
have
to
so
think
many
ahead.
characters they could throw in, right?
Yeah.
To have in the last scene.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I have to stand.
You don't need to stand.
Oh.
Come on, it's 2 minutes.
I don't care. It's the credits.
It's so good. I feel
Oh fuck.
so this is what they're doing now to help that girl, like to kind of keep her normal, is they're collecting quantum material to give to her. So like basically they were going to steal it all out of Janet, but he's just going to collect it and then give it to her to
Right.
like keep her whole, if you would. The quantum realm. So there is like a post-credit scene then after this too, but
So
there's
they
nothing
sort
to
of
it.
like forgot about him, I guess, the other team. Like during this, because all this shit is happening, you know, with the Thanos and all that. It's gone so fast that like they must have just totally forgot about him and Hawkeye.
Yeah. Well, they ask about them because they do.
Because he said they both had house arrest. Somebody did ask about them in the last
Well,
one.
I think what happens is that at the beginning, you don't know it's as huge an issue.
Whoa.
Boom. All of them gone.
All three of them. I wonder if his daughter's gone.
I have no idea.
Think they're gonna be
You
that
see,
brutal?
in the newest, it's dispassionate. Lots of kids get killed. But
No, but would they make one so? Because I think Hawkeye's is.
I think so. Although you see a scene in the trailer where he's with people that I'm assuming are his kids, but I have a feeling that that's a flashback,
I think so too.
and then you're gonna find out because like he's gonna be on his land because he's on farmland, so that's probably like his house arrest. He's still within his bounds.
Right.
Type thing, and they're there together, and then I think that they're all gonna disappear. Although apparently his daughter becomes the next Hawkeye too. Like everybody's
His
got
daughter becomes everyone apparently.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about Hawkeye's daughter becomes the next Hawkeye. Ant-Man's daughter becomes
because
the
it
next.
does look like he's training someone or something.
Yeah, there's a girl there. He's like, see, there you go, young Bill Langston Fishburne.
See, that had like a strange bad guy. Turned out to not be a bad guy.
Yeah.
Kind of a strange movie.
It really is, but I mean, I liked it. I think I liked it better than the first one because they utilize the abilities more. I think, and I didn't.
I think
care.
I like the first one better.
And the thing about the first one, I didn't care as much about. Like they deal a lot in the controlling of and the communicating with the ants.
Oh, I like that.
It was fine, but it was just I felt like it was too much of it. Like there's just like when he goes down to the thing, it's like we all have to run together and like that sort of. I'm like, I don't know.
I liked it. That's what I liked about it. I like the ants.
Yeah.
The ant raft.
Well, they utilized them in this one. It's just, it was a lot of ants in the last one, whereas this one had, I feel like a more reasonable amount of ants. I guess in the
Over-anted you?
Yeah, I got a little over-anted. It's like, I got to get out the rain. Less ants.
Anticin.
I don't want to kill all the ants. I just want less ants.
That shit doesn't even work.
It does if you spray them directly for 40 straight minutes.
Yeah, I know. It's like
and then it's like,
you might as well just bash them with
like-
the can.
it was like, was it poisoned? Nope, drowned.
Yeah, fucking poor bastard.
Yeah. I always like to try. I just pin all of them down and then I kill one in front of them.
Oh my god, this one. See, look at this. Is no. This is definitely no Black Panther or Infinity War, as we're already on the second unit.
See, and this is what I like. I like that they're not all epics. So
You
like,
can't have them all the same because then they all register. Then it's not. You know what I mean? Like
it's also just too much. Like
Yes.
you need if you're using them.
it's a palate cleanser. It's
Exactly.
like a come down.
If you need, and it's just the way that Infinity War went back and forth with tone and stuff like that. If you're not doing the same thing with the movies, it's just too much. Where did they shoot in Hawaii?
I know. That's what I was just thinking.
I feel like that was just a real, the macro unit. Those are the people like shooting with the tiny cameras and stuff. The Mako unit.
I liked the action sequences better with when he was fighting the other guy, like, and they're fighting on the train.
Yes.
And I thought that was much better. And you know, the fact that the bad guy wasn't really a bad guy sort of takes the stakes away. Like, it doesn't seem like,
yeah.
You know,
it was. I mean, the stakes for them were still high in that, like, it was going to result in the death of her mom and stuff like that.
Well, she was already been gone for 30 years, for God's sakes.
Yeah, but imagine you find her, you find out she's alive, and then you get it taken away from you, right? Like, that's, I would argue that that's worse. But but yeah, I do agree. But then also, then the first one loses points for, again, having
too many ants.
The two, but like the two bad guys being the same thing, or like the good guy and bad guy being the same thing. So like, this is one of the few movies where it wasn't the case. But
now you got me thinking. Right when you say that, I always think of the Reverse Flash. Now I'm thinking about Ezra Miller again and his plight.
God damn it! It's just like when I'm masturbating, my brain always goes back to Ezra Miller.
I know, right? And then I come real fast.
Yeah,
just like the Flash.
Me, I do it like the Reverse Flash, and I don't really want to talk about it. Please don't ask.
Balls just get bigger.
Yeah, please don't
implode.
Yeah, please don't ask for any follow-up, lest I cry in your arms. Oh, look at all those TDs. Those are all the people who got touchdowns during this movie.
Banks that they used.
Yeah, that was they had a Madden tournament off to the side, like during like down periods, and those were all the people who threw TDs. Right?
That's right.
Right? Do I know movies?
Industrial Light Magic.
That's Todd's credit job, is find out officially when they tell us that Industrial Light and Magic did it.
I want to see if they get some way to back up. I don't think they did in this one.
No, I don't think so. I don't think this was as heavy.
Do they even have time to work on any other fucking movies? Like, holy fuck, man.
Well, think about how big Industrial Light and Magic is.
It's all just like Star Wars and then Marvel movie.
No, because Industrial Light and Magic does like TV and shit too. Like they have. I would argue
they're the main company, and Weta.
Yeah, exactly. So
I'm sure they must have fucking warehouses full of people.
Yeah. Oh, of course, man. There's like thousands of people. Logan, they've done a lot of visual effects for some of the other ones too. Just while we're taking this little moment again, I just want to thank everybody for going through this ride with us. For every single episode since January has been a Marvel movie, and it is a lot.
Dear God.
So just
actually relieved.
Your next episode will be our bonus episode of Captain Marvel. That's going to come out on the Friday, which is opening day for Avengers. So it's going to be a shorter one. It's about like 20 minutes or something like that. So it's just a little palate cleanser. Just something no, for real, because it's already recorded. This one's already done. But you can, that's just something you can listen to on the drive to go see the movie, I guess.
Yeah.
And after that, we have our first Coming Attractions episode in 3 months.
I'm jazzed for it.
Almost 4 months, actually.
I'm jazzed. I like the mini-sodes.
I know. Well, because we can just talk about whatever.
Yeah, fuck right.
Not that we don't do that anyways. But
Quebec.
There we go. And then
tax credit.
Of course.
Fucking Ant-Man and the Wasp needed a tax credit from Quebec.
Every movie needs a tax credit.
Fuck.
Otherwise,
give you whatever you want.
Hell, well, other places like Georgia is huge on that. Georgia fucking gives more tax credits. So this is our final after the credits sequence. And probably the final one we'll see for a really long time, because like most movies don't have them, especially where we're going.
Yeah, Infinity War.
No, we're done. No, I'm talking. Oh yeah,
Endgame.
Endgame. We will do Endgame when it comes out on Blu-ray.
Woo, we did it. We officially did it.
Is done.
Fuck you, world. Fuck you.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Follow us, please, 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 on Twitter at Miscast Podcast, at JK Finley, at Miscast Todd. Find us our website at miscastcommentary.com. Find us on Instagram at Miscast Commentary. Go to our Facebook page. All the usual stuff. And as always, if you've enjoyed this episode or any episode in there, give us a review. Rate the show, things like that. They are very helpful in getting us seen by people. So yeah, we thank you very much. Tell your friends, And we'll see you more this week with some more Marvel talk. And then we'll see you next week with a new Marvel.
Non-Marvel talk.
Well, no, except we'll probably discuss in detail the Avengers trailer. It'll probably be like
minimal
the first thing we took.
Marvel talk.
But,
I think that anything there's probably going to be Marvel talk with us.
well, of course. Well, because
regardless.
it's still a dominating force in the series.
In my life.
And, yeah,
In my soul.
exactly. So we'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.
This has been Miscast Commentary with your hosts, Joe Finley and Todd Murray. Executive producer, Joe Finley. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen. Visit www.miscastcommentary.com for all news related to the podcast. Miscast Commentary is a Miscast Media production.
I might masturbate on a corpse.
Ooh.
Hope there's a fresh corpse out there.
There will be.